またカフェ巡りをしたいな。ふわふわのパンケーキ、あれは美味しかった。星の装飾、いいだろう。見ているとこの輝きに勝る活躍をしなければと勇気が湧くんだ。赤い衣装の早秀はサンタさんにそっくりだな。
Fixed. Not mute anymore, right? God damn it. The one day it always is. It's the one day I don't check is the one day that it fucking fucks me. It lulls me into a false sense of security every time. Thank you for the heads up, Hecka. Shouldn't be muted anymore. Bum-ba-da-dum. Okay, put that there. Kill that guy, man from the past. Go over here and deposit this as well. Rick, I regret to inform you we can't read lips. I know. I didn't realize I was muted, man. I don't know what makes OBS decides to randomly unselect my mic, but I did back for 23 months. Won't change soon. I appreciate it. Damn, really? Is it it's 2 years? Like next month? Is that true? Jesus Christ! It's like for the continued support, big dog. Let me just make sure. Oh, no, Chrome, close. I don't want Chrome. I want to... Yeah, okay. YouTube stream actually went live. That's good. All right, we're chilling. We are chilling. You want to see some fuck shit? Hecko, look at this. I did a run just randomly at like 3 a.m. on my phone yesterday. Check out this Christmas Oguri. Tell me this isn't one of the most disgusting things you've ever seen. So, I mean, okay, her power is not crazy high, right? That, like, if I could, there are some nitpicks that you can make here. Obviously, it's not 1200, 1200, 1200, right? But, like, personally, I would rather have, if anything is going to be in that 1100 range, I'd rather it be power over wit or speed, right? Medium S, naturally, right? She's got the perfect 4 recoveries. She's rocking U equals MA squared, corner recovery, hydrate, and triple sevens. She's got 19 skills total. This is Medjaro Arden's ult, which is pretty good. It does have a stamina drain to it, but she's hella overstammed anyway, so it's fine. Right-handed, so she's actually got 1240 speed, only single circle. Sunny Days and Pace Chaser Savvy because they are triggers for groundwork, which she does have. Shrewd Step is another groundwork, right? She's got Head On, which is just, you know, a little bit of nice extra, I guess. Maybe you could argue I didn't need this, and I should have brought something else, but yeah, it's nice to have to separate you from the other Christmas Ogres. You got Pace Chaser Corners and Straightaways, Single Circle, Killer Tune, Steadfast, Prepared to Pass, Nimble Nav, Ramp Up, and Curvature. I think this Ogre is pretty good. Got an ace? Yeah, this happened last night. I just was... Why Steadfast? Honestly, because when I bought it, I was trying to prune skills. Steadfast is okay. Steadfast is fine, and I was trying to prune skills from the hint pool, which actually did end up being very good, because it let me get Pace Chaser Savvy and Shrewd Step after I bought this. So, if something is even passable, I like to buy it for hint pruning, right? Now, not to say that if I didn't buy Steadfast, I wouldn't have gotten these. It's very possible that I would have, but, you know. Steadfast isn't the worst. I think it's like, if someone tries to pass... It's like pass protection, right? If someone tries to pass you on the final corner, you get some speed. Meh. Right? Like, that... If the race is close, that could be good. Let me see. I think that's what it does. Yeah. Oh, if someone does pass you. If someone passes you on the final straight, you get some speed. The acceleration is obviously worthless, but... I mean, even just 3 seconds of 0.15, I mean, that's not the worst speed skill in the world, right? That's not the worst speed. Like, 3 seconds of 0.15 is pretty solid. This is never going to do anything, almost. I guess it'll mean that you technically get up to this extra speed ever so slightly quicker, but it's not meaningful, right? Mine is... Just the condition is dookie? The condition is not that dookie. On the final corner, someone has to overtake you. Or on the final straight, rather, someone has to overtake you. You know, it can happen. Right? Especially in close races, it can happen. Because, like, you know, you have to be passed? Yeah. So, like, you know, if it's close, it can, I'd just rather not. Yeah, me too. You'd rather something that activates earlier to prevent the pass, but a little bit of pass protection never hurt nobody. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's certainly not my favorite skill choice, though, right? I didn't get Speed Star on this. Fine Mo just gave me Prepared to Pass, too, which is, You know, there were other things I could have bought, though. I could have gotten, like, double circle this, like, corners or straightaways or something like that, but this is a relatively early buy for pruning. Arguably a misplay. Arguably a misplay, right? But I think it's not the worst guy in the world. And the Oguri, otherwise, I mean, this is the most skills I've had on an ace for a while, right? Maybe you can say the greens don't really count because they're cheaper, but I mean, okay, then, like, count out the fact that she has the golds and, you know, average them out to each be one skill. And she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 skills. That's crazy. She didn't even race that much, by the way. She only has 37 races. Greens do matter for your groundwork, and I'm talking in terms of, like, skill points, right? Saying that they don't really count as a full skill buy because they're a lot cheaper. But, I mean, you can then average it out with the fact that the golds are 2 skills worth, generally, and it'll roughly come out in the wash, right? 37 races, but you know what this was? Something that I've actually come to really, 37 is a decent amount of races. I think it's probably fine. I think it's obviously, like, the thing in Track Blazer, like, one of the biggest things that makes you good or bad at Track Blazer is deciding when to train versus when to race. 37 does not feel... Like, 37 feels pretty good. I feel like 1 or 2 more than this, and you're racing too much. It feels like. Like, not to say... Obviously, it depends... One of the things is that every turn, it depends heavily. Right? Like, it really depends on the turn. It depends on the epithets. It depends on what you're going for. It depends on what you've won so far or lost so far. Right? It depends on what the trading looks like, what stage you're at, what your stats look like. Like, it's very hard to make just, like, a one-size-fits-all for this. But I feel like, you know, also depends if you need to build bonds. Yeah, there's so much. It's a roguelite, right? So every single turn, race, like, it, you know, run to run, whether it's, you know, how many races was a good idea. If you get really good trainings, maybe you need to race less or something. But I will say, the reason that it felt like she had as many skill points as she did, something that I'm really starting to enjoy, that I used to undervalue hugely when I started playing Mant, is those hammers, man. The artisan hammers and even the master hammers, you can get more than 3 and then start using some master hammers on, like, regular G1s. It's a lot. Like, they're like in the neighborhood of, like, the artisan hammers are, I think, 25 or something. With a discount. But yeah, like, the extra skill points is a really big deal, right? When skills are the be-all, end-all, and, like, skills are the differentiator between a good ace and a bad ace, suddenly, like, they come at a premium, right? You might say that if you spend 25 coins on an artisan hammer to get, like, 20 skill points or 18 skill points or something, it's like, well, that's, you know, that's like a less than 1-to-1 conversion of coins to skill points, and skill points are often... considered, like, you know, 1 skill point is not equivalent to 1 stat, right? So, like, that's not a great conversion rate on your coins, but, like, I think skill points are, like, I think valuing a skill point at less than a stat is probably a little, in the world we're in now, in, like, Alharu, in URA especially, right? Then absolutely. But now, I feel like valuing 1 skill point under 1 stat, I'm not so sure if I'm on board with that anymore, man. Maybe, but ugh. If you get hat early, you may opt to give up some hammers. I don't think I've ever looked at the Scholar's hat and thought it was a good decision. I've only gotten it, even as an option for me, like 3 or 4 times. I don't think I've ever seen it and gone, that seems good to me. Fast Learner is what? Is Fast Learner a 10%? It's a 10% discount on skills, right? Like, even... in the best case scenario, I feel like the hat, because the hat is 264 coins, right? The hat is 264 coins, or 280 coins baseline, 264 if you get the discount, or 262 if you get, it's 280 coins baseline. The hat is like 11 artisan hammers, and it's barely more skill points, right? It's barely more skill points. Yeah, it's 280, so it's like 11 artisan hammers, and it's barely more skill points than the artisan hammers, and the artisan hammers come with stats. I think it's just too steep of a cost. And that's like comparing it to, like, just the sheer amount of opportunity cost that it takes up too. It's a lot easier to buy 1 hammer than 1 hat. You know what I mean? Obviously, Fast Learner is very good, but that's also assuming that you don't spend any of your skill points until the end of the career, which if you're hunting for particular skills, I don't know if it's correct. It's 7 gold hammers worth of cost, yeah. And it's like 8 or 9 gold hammers worth of skills, I think, right? A gold hammer is like 21 skill points or something like that. I guess it's closer to like 10, 11 gold hammers worth of cost, right? But like, yes, that's, you know, you do get more, but you have to have that 280 all at once, right? And it also, to get the value, you have to get it right at the beginning of the career, essentially. And you have to have not, well, I guess you either that, or you can not spend any of your skill points throughout the career, which the more I play the scenario, the more that doesn't feel like a good idea, man. It feels like pruning, I mean, if you're building an Oguri, for example, it's, I think, literally wrong. Like, it's bad. You really need to spend early to get her some consistency in races by getting her ult online, right? So at the very least there, you're going to have spent like 500 skill points without your Scholar's Hat, probably. But even then, like, to hunt for particular hints, it feels so good. Like, if you get Pace Chaser straightaways or something, like, pick that shit up right away so that you don't get it again, right? So you can get corners, so you can get Shrewd Step, or you can get something else. So, I just don't know if it's... Like, maybe if it's on, like, a 10 or 20% discount and you have a horrible shop, like, you just had horrible shops and you have a bunch of excess coins, then sure. But it feels like it's almost never the correct decision, right? And this is assuming, again, that you want to spend 280 coins on skill points in the first place, right? You're not usually going to buy 11 hammers, right? You're not usually going to buy 11 hammers, I think. Spend 7 gold hammers on G1s with 50% race bonus. It's 18 times 7 SP, 127 SP versus 240 from Hat. Hat can be more, too, if you have more, right? Hat can be even more. Like, I think this run definitely had more than 2,400 skill points, but also this run didn't spend its coins on a hat. So it's hard to say, like, you're probably going to have fewer skill points if you spend your coins on a hat versus if you don't. So I guess maybe 2,400 is fine. Assume 2,400 SP at the end. Yeah. So it's worth about it's worth about twice as many gold hammers as you're paying for it. But again, I just feel like having to spend 280 coins at once, right? It's just not gonna work unless you have had horrible shops. You know, like my point is that it's not the same thing. Even if you were going to buy 14 hammers, it's a lot easier to buy 14 hammers over the course of a run than one Scholar's Hat. Because you can spread out the purchase. Genuinely, it might be easier to buy 14, maybe not 14, but it might be easier to buy 14 gold hammers than it is to buy one Scholar's Hat at some point in the run. Because shop pressure is a real thing that you have to manage in this scenario, right? Other day, another streak collected. Hello, Nargit. So it's hard to say. Scholar's Hat is obviously, nothing is ever bad. But I think Scholar's Hat, I would rarely see Scholar's Hat and then go, I'm going to pivot my game plan around the fact that I found Scholar's Hat. Right? Yeah, I don't know. It's too rare to plan for it? No, I mean, like, I'm saying even once I see it, I don't think I say very rarely, never so far have I seen Scholar's Hat and gone, that seems like a good idea. Maybe I'm underrating Fast Learner, but I don't know, man. I don't know that I am. Right? Like, even if it's not rare anymore, it's in my shop, it's right in front of me, I still just don't want to buy it. Because again, there are, like, when I say that it's easier to buy 14 gold hammers than one Scholar's Hat, it's because you can, like, buy a gold hammer and... Oh, I'm low on energy items. I need an energy item. Oh, I don't have any megaphones and summer camp is coming up. Let me get a megaphone. Oh, I need ankle weights. You know, summer camp's coming up. I don't have any ankle weights. Let me get some ankle weights and this hammer at the same time, right? Oh, let me buy some stat notebooks and a hammer. You can't do that with a Scholar's Hat, right? You can't plan for shop refreshes with a Scholar's Hat. I think it's just it's so heavy. Like, there's other things to spend your coins on. I agree with you. It's just difficult. Yeah. Rare. Like, nothing is ever 100% bad, but Scholar's Hat feels pretty difficult to ever... It rarely feels like a good decision, I guess. Very... Like, if you got it on literally your first shop out of debut, right? Because the first shop is pretty shit, normally. It's like, you always get a megaphone, I think. Though it's often a coaching or a motivating. I think I'm very... Maybe I've never seen an empowering megaphone out of it. It's been motivating a lot of the time and then coaching, like, second most. Maybe I've gotten an empowering megaphone out of, like, 1 or 2 or something. But yeah, if you get it in the very first shop and there's a Scholar's Hat for some reason, okay, yeah. Just, like, tank your early tradings, race a couple opens, right? And, oh my god, Hecko. And then you're good, right? Like, at the end of the day, at that point, shop pressure isn't really a thing. You're just giving up, like, is it worth trading, like, 2 turns of Bond? And maybe, like, 40 energy for Fast Learner? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. But like, if it ever happens in the mid game, once you're fully in that, like, item management juggling type scenario, it's just so hard to justify. It feels like. I bought Scholar once, next turn Fast Learner by luck. Is that real? There's no way, right? Like, the odds of that are... I mean, it's got to happen to someone. It's happened to lots of people, I'm sure, but... Like, Scholar's Hat even showing up in the first place, you having the ability to buy it, it being a good choice to buy, I guess that might not factor in here in the probability. And then buying it, and then getting, like, the odds of getting Fast Learner on a run at all is, like, it feels like it shit's, like, 1 in 20. Unless you're playing Mayano Top Gun or something. And then it's, like, to get it the very next turn. That feels, is this a meme, or is this something that actually happened to you? Like, are you imagining a scenario where it's, like, wouldn't that fucking suck? Or is this actually, because if this actually happened to you, I think you need to, like... I don't know, repent? Or something? I would never shut the fuck up about that if that happened to me. Funny, I haven't seen Mayano's love advice yet. Now that you mention it, I don't think I have either. But I only did like 7-8 runs with her. To prepare her for the thing. So I can't say definitively that it's not there. I feel like it should be. I feel like I've gotten everyone else's unique events, right? Like, I know the stuff you don't get in Mant. If we go and look at... Mrs. Chopped Gun. I've gotten some Umas in single pulls, so I don't know how my luck works. The odds of that happening is way more than getting Fast Learner the turn after you buy the Scholar's Hat, right? Like, if we just say that Fast Learner baseline, I mean, I feel like a 5% chance of Fast Learner is very generous. I feel like I've done... How many times have I just gotten raw Fast Learner off, like, the... Because normally you get it on... There's 2 events that can give it to you per Uma, right? Like, they'll always have... What's Fast Learner odds, by the way? We don't know. At least I don't know. But, like, normally you get... Like, you get the one that's +5 to all can give you Fast Learner, and then costume events, one of them will have a chance of Fast Learner for some... What? Is that not true? I could have sworn it was the case for Oguri. Maybe Maya doesn't have it because she has love advice. I could have sworn one of Oguri's ones could give her Fast Learner. No. Say Ballroom, I think? Oh, no. I think I saw it on Tachyon? Is it Tachyon who I saw it on? Was Tachyon the one who could get it off her costume event? Yes. Tachyon was the... I guess some of them get Charming, some of them get Fast Learner, I suppose, right? Yeah. Okay, so outside of Tachyon, then, for, like, if you're just running, like, an Oguri, right? If you're just running Christmas Oguri, the only way you can get Fast Learner is off, instead of the Scholar's Hat, is her... events. Oguri's Heart Pounding Training right here, right? And this is like... Even this event even popping up is like a 1 in every 3 or 4 runs thing, and it feels like this giving you Fast Learner. I feel like this has happened, and this is like a universal, like all Uma, to my understanding, have one like this. I've seen it on every Uma I've tried anyway. I haven't seen one that doesn't have it. It feels like the odds of getting Fast Learner out of this event are like 1 in 20, and this event is like a 1 in every 3 to 4 runs or something. Years later, I do remember buying the hat and getting Learner somewhere. No surprise it was Rudolph who doesn't get it, I think. I meant costume-wise, yeah. It's like, if you want to say that getting Fast Learner is a 1 in 100 thing on your runs, and then even getting the Scholar's Hat is like a 1 in 20, that's like way less likely than pulling a Uma off a single, but shit's crazy. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a planning. Maybe we actually play the game stream as well. We'll see. But basically, I have a problem. I don't really have a problem. I have a question that I want to answer for myself. This is a very strong Oguri. I think it's going to be very hard for me to make an Oguri better than this. It's possible, right? It's literally possible. Instead of Steadfast, put like Speed Star on her, right? And max it out 1200, 1200, 1200 and give her Pace S, right? And then instead of like Sunny Days, have Firm Conditions and Double Circle and Right-Handed Double Circle. We probably need to race like 41 times. So I don't know if that's possible, really. It'd be pretty close. But yeah, we can at least definitely get rid of Sunny Days and put like Firm Conditions on here, right? And we could get rid of Pace Chaser Savvy and put Spring Runner. Give her Pace S, max out her stats, get rid of this and put Speed Star there or something. And then that is probably pretty close to like the perfect Oguri, probably. It's pretty close, but she's really damn close. So I don't think... Unrelated, but I did beat Elden Ring recently. Ooh, main game or Shadow of the Erdtree. The main game's great. You should play the DLC if you haven't. It's so good. So good. It's my favorite video game until this shit came along. This looks solid enough. I think this is more than solid. I mean, maybe I'm overestimating, but I think this is a very strong... It's like a top 10% at the very least Christmas Oguri. Like, not top 10% Uma for this CM. I think it's a top 10% Oguri for this. I think the groundwork with triggers and the Shrewd Step, both of the golds, 2 different backup excels with the 4 perfect recoveries. Oof. Maybe cut head-on if you plan to do another. I don't know. The late race is... I feel like head-on is not great, but I do It's maybe. There's a good argument that head-on is bad here. I'm not so sure how I feel about that point, right? But the late race is not super long. It's a 2,000, right? So the late race is only 300 meters long. It's like a 33 to 40% chance that head-on gives you pretty good value. It's not bad, right? Especially because Christmas Ogre, like, this is just a matter of how do I differentiate myself from other Christmas Ogres. Yeah. Head-on is probably worse. Is it worse or better than Nimble Nav? That's a good question. Probably about the same. Oh, you have Nimble Nav? Yeah, I have both. It's probably... I feel like they're probably... Nimble Nav is better. People are starting to fan out a little bit. I don't think Nimble Nav is that... I think Nimble Nav is a little... Because I think a lot of lobbies... Nimble Nav's going to be pretty good on, like, your fucking late surgers if you have them or something. I think a lot of lobbies are not going to be rocking that many pace chasers. Fronts, if you catch up to a front, you could do it. Nimble Nav is obviously a bigger effect than head-on. Nimble Nav is stronger than head-on when it pops, right? Nimble Nav is, like, the actual magnitude of this is bigger than most things. 3 seconds of 0.2 is crazy, right? Head-on is a lot worse, if I remember. It's 1.8? Yeah, 1.8 of 0.2, yeah. So, Nimble Nav is certainly better when it pops. I don't know if it's more or less likely to be good. Like, if it's more than or less likely to activate. It's probably better, because I don't think it's half as likely to be good as head-on. It might be a slight bit less likely to proc than head-on. Like, it might be like a 30% chance to be good or something like that. Maybe it's more. Maybe it's more, in which case I'm wrong, but I would figure because there is some fanning out, there's not going to be a ton of paces per lobby, and there might not be a ton of fronts per lobby too. Certainly a lot of, like, real sweaty folks are rocking frontrunners, because I think, this is what we're going to talk about in a second, but I think one of the problems is if you want to run an ace that isn't Christmas Ogre, I think it, like, has to be Saiyan Sky. Probably. Like, I don't know who else can, like, reasonably beat her, if she's, especially if it's if you want to beat her through a Dominator. One Dominator, at least, assuming you're running 2 aces plus Dom, so if she's running Christmas Ogre double Dom. My Dobra has NSM. When both fired off, she goes. Yeah, I think on your late surgers, I think there's going to be more... There might be more lates than paces per lobby. I think NSM is likely to be a lot better on lates in this one. Because I think the default strategy that most people are going to go that have Christmas Ogre is Christmas Ogre double Dominator. I think it's the easiest thing to build, right? Whatever debuffers are good, people tend to try debuffers because they like debuffers, right? They like they like building debuffers because it's easy, right? It's lower effort. So if they're actually, you know, being recommended, people are going to go for it. Dober has been showing strong in our club. I was thinking about Dober, actually. I did get her recently too. But yeah, so Nimble Nav is probably better, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, this Ogre is very good. I don't think I'm reasonably improving on her before Ares comes around. I might do a couple more runs just for fun. I might record one off screen as well on YouTube, just like doing like an over-explained, just doing a run live and talking about every single turn in great depth. That will take me like fucking 4 hours to do, but it'll be fun, at least. So, the question now becomes, it's good enough. Again, I think it is more than good enough. I think it's very, very, very good. Like, to the point that improving on it, I think, is going to be really difficult to do. A lot of things just hit here, right? A lot of things hit. Unless you really want to sweat the marginal improvement. Yeah. Like, it's the marginal improvements are going to be very hard to find here. So I think the question now becomes, what now? So obviously, a CM team is 3 Uma. The easy answer is, what now? Double Dominator, right? The easy answer is just run double Dom. Hello, Haru. And, like, I don't fucking know, right? Like, I mean, I have 3 different... Do I have Rudolph? Oh, no, I don't have Rudolph. So I think my only options for Dom are Tachyon plus... you don't have it. You have all-seeing guys. Tachyon plus... What's her face? Grass Wonder, I think. Yeah, I don't have regular Rudolph. I have this Rudolph for some reason. I don't think anyone else that in here has Dominator. I think the only other Dominator that currently exists is base Rudolph. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, so the obvious answer is just run Grass Wonder, Tachyon, right? Dominator, go from there. There is a question to be asked, right? There is a question to be asked, and it is, so Dominator, right? Rudolph and Valentine fall. Oh, Valentine Aishin. Yes, Valentine Aishin. Yes, there she is. Yeah. Dominator is interesting because you have to be worse than 5th explicitly. You have to be 6th. It's kind of hard to do, right? if you imagine one lobby composition of everyone is just doing the default thing, right? There's no super big front sweats or something like that. Imagine a lobby of 3 Christmas Ogres and 6 Late Surger Dominators. I don't think it's going to be that uncommon to see, right? This is, like, a good part of those Late Surgers are not going to pop Dom. They just don't meet the conditions, right? Now, I guess you could torpedo their mid-race. Upcoming cheerleader nature. Yeah. She's got NSM too, which is really nice. You could torpedo their mid-race, but I don't know if that's such a great idea, and you do want to make sure they actually get to the late race in time for, you know, Dominator to... I guess Dominator will always matter because the current speed debuff, but still. You could torpedo their mid-race. I think it's not, like, the weirdest thing ever. There is also the option, if you just want to have them be a dedicated debuffer and basically have very little chances of winning, there is the option to run them as an end closer. Because one very notable thing is Dominator does not have a style restriction, right? Dominator has a distance restriction. It only works on mediums. You can run one end to get intense gaze. Yeah. It only works on mediums, but you could just run as a you could run as an end closer. Of course, if everyone does that, well, we're back to the same problem, and everyone's just worse off, right? But if you're gonna run double Dominator, you probably should run double end closer to take advantage of the people who didn't run end, right? Because this is a hard threshold. If you get into a lobby with like, I am assuming that all lobbies have 3 Ogres. Obviously, that's not going to be the case. Like, but I think those are the lobbies where it's going to be the scariest anyway, right? I think those are the lobbies where, you know, min-maxing your comp is the most important. If you are like the only Christmas Ogre in a lobby or something, pretty good chance you just won. Most likely, unless it's a very odd. Like if it's like 7 fronts. 7 fronts, a Dominator, and Christmas Ogre, then I could see actually her running into some trouble there, just because it means she can't pop U equals MA squared, and there's actually a good chance she just misses her ult instead of absolutely having like a 98% chance to hit it with U equals MA squared as a backup, right? I was doing some test runs. My last CM Tama wasn't so bad. Interesting. Should be overstamped to fuck, right? But yeah, so anyways, if we're imagining, I mean, if it's like 3 paces... Let's say if it's like 3 paces, 4 lates, and 2 fronts or something. One guy's running double dom, one guy's running, or 2 guys running double dom, one guy's running Ogre and 2 fronts, right? Then all of the lates should really hit Dominator, right? There should be no problem with it. So I guess if you want your lates to have a chance to win, like if you want them to be hybrid, like Gamba debuffers, then you could do that. But it just feels a little bad. Right? It does feel a little bad. I would like the idea of running hybrid late surgers, but it just doesn't feel so good because of this explicitly. This makes me not want to run them late. Now the question becomes, right? That's the obvious option, is just run 2 Dominators, right? Ogre 2 Dominators. You can also run Ogre 2 front. I'm not doing that just because I don't have any cards for front, and I don't have any, like, I don't say in Sky, who I think is, I don't know if you can make a front ace. Like, the question now becomes, what aces can beat Ogre? Especially if you're gonna assume that if you're running 2 aces, which I am, at least one of them's gonna be Ogre, the other one's gonna be someone else, right? You have to beat Ogre through 1 extra Dominator on her end. Like, if you're popping 1 Dom, and she's popping 2, what aces can beat Ogre through a second, like, through an extra Dominator? Right? Say can? Say can. Yes. So I think if you're going to do the double front thing anyway, Say and Sky is basically, like, it has to be one of them, and I don't think I'm going to do it. Yeah, Dober and Ryan were the other 2 I was thinking about, because, I mean, not consistently, but literally can they? Probably. Right? Dober more so than Ryan. Though, again, I think there's a problem with both Dober and Ryan. And it is, if we look at their ults... Right? Moving past and beyond. So Dober in this case, Ryan is going to trigger it on final corner. Right? Or no, Ryan is corner. Oh, I never fucking remember. Ryan is corner in a late race, right? Like if I go iron. So Ryan's will pop at perfect. Yeah, perfect timing. Corner in a late race. Yeah. So Ryan, if she's 6th right here, she will win. Probably. Right? It's very hard. Very, very, very hard to stop a late surger with a perfect 0.4 excel. There's a very good reason that they don't really give late surgers, at least not yet, I suppose. They don't really give late surgers consistent 0.4 excels, right? Big man Bermudan.
nerds.
Bermudian? Possible. So that's one thing. Sure. Dober, also, obviously, moving past and beyond. 5th or 6th, so a lot better. You can't get rushed, which, I mean, it shouldn't be that high of a chance if you're rocking really high wits, but it does, you know, mean that 1 in every 9. 1 in every 9. This is going to be off by default, right? And then, in this case, the final corner is in the late race, right? So this is going to be phase... I never read this shit right. 12% at max wit? Yeah. It's like roughly 1 in every 9 runs you are not going to get it. So, you're in the late race. You are on a corner, and it is not the final corner. Yeah, so hers is also going to have like a perfect pop if it hits, right? Because right here, this is a corner that is not the final corner in the late race. So if she's in 5th or 6th right here, she's going to hit it. She's going to go crazy. Is there anyone else besides Say and Sky who I think probably of the 3 we just mentioned, when they hit, I think Saiyan has probably the hardest time beating Oguri, but hers is the most consistent way to do it, probably. Or it's the most consistent win condition to get off compared to these 2. I don't know if there's anyone else. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, certainly I don't think anyone else that I have. You gotta just think about it. I mean, could you do some fuck shit with like a runaway Suzuka? I feel like she probably gets run down to hell and back. Especially because one thing that you have to remember too that makes other non-Saiyan fronts, it gives them a hard time, if I remember correctly. Yeah. This downhill ends after position keep ends, right? So with all these fucking 1200 wit Oguries, if they get some good downhill modes on you, it's gonna propel them, like gonna start eating into your lead, right? When all the downhills happen before position keep ends, it's not as bad. It's not as hard to keep your lead on the pace chasers, on even the late surgers, etc. Because if they get too lucky on their downhill modes, right, they will get paced out, and it'll kind of, it all come out in the wash. But since this downhill extends a good 200 meters after position keep is over, lucky downhill is going to be very good at eating into your lead. So I don't know if I don't really know. I mean, regular Oguri, I guess, but I don't think it's worth doing, really. A perfect pop corner connoisseur is going to go crazy, but that's like probably... I mean, is that a significantly lower chance than like Ryan hitting her ult? Maybe? I mean, obviously, that is completely worthless. This is half worthless. And this is complete. So it's like a 12.5% chance or something that you get like a good corner connoisseur pop. I don't know if that's more or less of a chance, but you have to make Suzuka and Alharu, so not really. She won't have the raw stats to compete. Oh, yeah, right. Maybe Golshi with a Daring Strike. I mean, the late race does not start on a straight. It's a bit of a hard sell. Because here's my problem with Dober and with Ryan. If you're building them as aces, then... by all means, you should be loading them up with wit and mid-race. Yes, I think, anyway, this is my assumption. Because that's just how you want to build late surger aces. And the normal part about the nice part about late surgers normally is it's like, alright, well, yeah, a lot of my really big Gamba excels require me to be in 5th and 6th, whatever, right? And that's fine, because if I have a really good mid-race, and I end up in like 4th or 3rd or something, I'm kind of just going to kill people anyway, because I have a significantly stronger coefficient, right? It's really hard. If a late surger is like, trust me, I have escape Suzuka ready for this if I could, 110%. That's fair, that's fair. If a late surger is like shoulder to shoulder with the paces, or God, I've seen it happen on shorter tracks before, the fronts, when the late race begins, the rod, it's probably over, right? Unless it's like Saiyan Sky popping rod or something, it's probably over anyway, right? Except for the fact that I just said, unless it's like Saiyan Sky popping Rod. And if there's one thing that is comparable to that right now, it's Christmas Oguri popping Festive Miracle. So, if you go too far forward, it's not just going to be like, well, I'm a late surger, I win anyway. Because now, you need these, not to like normally for late surgers, it's like you hit these, and you win by like 9 lengths, right? If you perfect popped like Major Orion ult, plus like a nimble nav, or God forbid an NSM or something at the perfect time, it's like they teleport. Like suddenly, like they're all like, you look at the little map tracker back there, and they go from like 6th to 1st in like a couple of seconds. It's ridiculous, right? They just obliterate whatever they're racing against. Here, you like have to hit this to fight Oguri. Like once you hit these, you have a good chance of beating her. But like this is like the admission ticket. Yeah. So it feels a little weird. Because again, maybe this is what a lot of my assumptions are hinging on this, but it feels like the most common lobby composition is going to be one where it's going to be very hard for your Dober to hit this, right? I think the actual, genuinely, the true sweatiest lobby composition, if everyone was 100% going crazy and had infinite time and, like, had my opinion on, like, the correct meta, right, is the true most common lobby composition here is probably 3 pace, 6 front. I think if there's anything that can compete with Christmas Oguri here, if not say it, like it's Stay in Sky, yes, but it's also just not letting her pop U equals MA squared will probably cut her win rate in half or something, like, or maybe not in half. It'll cut her win rate by like 15% or something, right? So probably the actual best thing here would be 3 pace Oguries in every lobby and 6 fronts in every lobby, but that's not gonna happen, right? If there's Oguri, won't they more likely have lates? Yeah, I'm saying, like, the closest thing we have to a counter to Christmas Oguri is frontrunners, right? Just not letting her pop U equals MA squared. Because, again, if she has 4, counter, yeah, and like, we should be trying to counter Christmas Oguri because she is unbelievably oppressive in this CM, right? Because if she has 4 recovery skills she can rely on, then she's going to have, like, a 98% chance to get her ult off. And if she gets her ult off, then you need to hit one of these, or you need, like, a Saiyan Sky to have a good race and also grab angling and scheming, or just, like, build Mog the Oguri, just be built better than the Oguri, right? And then she can win. If it's only 3 skills, right? If you can't pop U equals MA squared, then we have 0.925, right? 0.925 to the, to the 3, right? Which means she has a 79% chance. It's still like 79? Yeah, that's a huge difference. Right? A 1 in 4 chance of missing her ult versus a 1... Like, it's 20% versus 2%, right? And if Oguri doesn't hit her ult, she should lose, right? If Christmas Oguri does not hit her ult, almost anything that is remotely built as an ace is going to beat her. Yeah? I guess maybe, like, in this... Like, for example, in this Oguri's case, the one that I have, there's, like, a weird... There's a weird world where she, like, doesn't hit her ult, and then she still... Maybe, like, she, like, perfect pops head-on and nimble nav at the perfect time or something, but generally it shouldn't be... Like, if Oguri isn't popping her ult, she's losing almost every race she's in. So if the chance... And if she pops her ult, she's not winning every race she's in, but it gets, you know, need to have very specific things to beat her. So, like, an 18% decrease in her ult chance is pretty close to an 18% decrease in her win rate. Like, genuinely, it's like a 14% decrease in her win rate or something. The true sweats will run front Christmas Oguri. Why do you say that? Is it because front Christmas Oguri is not mogged by other frontrunners? What are your 4 recoveries for front Oguri? Because Restless doesn't work, right? I don't think front Christmas Oguri sounds very strong to me. I know she can get angling, right? So that's a nice extra acceleration you can throw on her. But I think she should be, unless I'm forgetting something. Obviously, you can grab, like, corner recovery. You can grab soft step. That's 2. Right? You can't really do Tachyon ult anymore. Operation Cacao? Cacao? Cacao should work, right? Bourbon ult? Operation Cacao is a recovery, isn't it? Yeah, and you have to be first? Or you have to be better. No, you have to be better than 4th. Okay, I mean, there's 3. If you can get a 4th one, it's interesting. I think, I will say, I still don't think this is correct, in the sense that I think this would be 20XX, if you know what I'm talking about. 20XX front Oguri is better than pace Oguri. But this is actually where, as unbalanced as the CM is, there is some balance here, right? Like, the better front Oguri becomes triple sevens, right? I'm stupid. I always forget. I don't know how I always forget about triple sevens. Yeah, so it'd be hard to be, like, if you could get 777, corner recovery, soft step, Operation Cacao, that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. There are a couple of tracks where front is optimal for Oguri instead of pace. Yeah, the Dirt CM was one of them. Front Christmas Oguri on the Dirt CM, I think, was probably the strongest horse for that track, right? Front Oguri can't take a 4th. No, 777s. I forgot. Yeah. So Operation Cacao, corner recovery, soft step, 777s. That's pretty good. But so she's not losing out in that sense. She has angling and scheming, which you could 667. Yep. She has angling. Front can't get 4 heals. Yeah. Oh, for the good proc. Oh shit, you're right. Yeah. No. Yeah, there's no. Right. Yeah. You have 4 heals, but you don't have a U equals MA squared level activator, right? Because this one corner not equals 0. It's on a corner in the mid race. Yeah, this one will pop too early. Yeah, no, I don't think. Nah, front Christmas Oguri is not. No. For a second, I was like, what I was gonna say is say that front Christmas Oguri had the exact same recovery suites that Pace did. I think she would still be worse because front Christmas Oguri is exclusively better in like 6 front lobbies, which I think are gonna be very rare. Like if you're just trying to win rate max, then I think Pace is gonna be a lot better in those Dominator lobbies because she just has a better coefficient, right? But I think that front Oguri is probably better in like 6 front lobbies. Because she can, you know, at that point, Pace Oguri doesn't have the good setup either, right? And Anglican Scheming is a better acceleration than like head-on, basically, will be the only thing, right? 6 front lobby, good luck fighting for first. I mean, you don't really need to because you have Festive Miracle, right? But like a 6 front lobby removes the good recoveries from Pace Oguri as well. Sacrifice Suzuka is required if you run front Oguri. For Nimble Nav off of, I suppose. But yeah, I don't think it's good in this CM. I don't think so, no. I think, like, even if she had 4 recoveries with the perfect proc like Pace, I still think there's a good argument that Pace would be better. The fact that she can't get it, there's no way. I think real sweats running front Oguri, I think are shooting themselves in the foot. I think they are probably not real sweats if they are doing that. But yeah, anyways, I don't know about Dober and Ryan. I mean, when they hit, they're going to kill people, right? But oh, I just typed Dober instead of moving. But it's this 5th place is hard, man. Like, I guess you could have NSM as a backup. I guess NSM as a backup, right? Because if Dober has a really good mid race and she's like shoulder to shoulder with the paces, and then she pops NSM, then she can definitely compete, right? It's not a bad idea. NSM. It will probably. I think it needs to be NSM though. I think it needs to be NSM and not Nimble Nav. And then there's the problem with this, right? There's a big cavernous. Here's the issue, right? You have a big cavernous gap here. Like if we imagine I did get it from Bijin, yeah, I think you would probably have to, right? Which is, if we imagine, right? This is this is just our pack, right? And you have like a front runner here or something. You have like your 3 Christmas Oguries relatively nearby. You have your lates, like your late Dominator pack over here, right? If this is your Dober, or if this is your Dober, right? If these 2 lines right here are your Dober, which if your Dober is an ace and the other ones are just being run as Dominator is quite likely. If your Dober is an ace, she's likely beating the shit out of all like the debuffer lates. Like they are not going to beat her in the mid race most of the time, right? In this exact case, where we have 1 front, it's actually not so bad, right? Because right here, actually, you would be 5th. You would be 5th. You would be 6th, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is like the perfect lobby composition for this idea. Is what's it called? Is 1 front in the lobby, but no one's gonna do this, right? No one who actually wants to run fronts is gonna run 1 front, likely. One should never solo front, yeah, but this is perfect because no matter where, like this has you like the biggest odds that you actually get your shit off, right? If we instead change this and there are maybe 2 fronts and 4 lates, right? Like let's get rid of this guy, right? Let's just merge them into one big thick line, right? And there's 2 fronts here, right? So now this is 5th and this is 6th. This is pretty good for Ryan still, right? In a 2 front lobby, Ryan and Dober actually. Right, being in the front here, if they're assuming these are like, you know, your Dominator and one other guy who's bringing double Dominator, it's actually gonna be pretty consistent that you're gonna get to the front of this pack, right? You're gonna be 6th, right? And then, you know, that works for Dober, that works for Ryan. So that's actually very good, right? It makes it a little harder. You gotta make sure that you're actually in the front. But again, if we assume that this is like 3 other Dominators, like just debuffers, and you are the ace, then this should happen, right? I think the problem arises if your lobby composition does not look like this. Like, I think a lobby with, like, no fronts at all and, like, 6 lates is actually not impossible. Like, I could see, like, a 3 late pace, like, 6 late situation popping up decently often. In this case, this is now 4th. Which is probably where you are. So it's gonna kind of fuck you. Like, if this is, like, your Dominator, like this one right here is your Dominator, and this is like 4 other Dominators, then it's a very good chance you're in 4th and you just die. Now, to be fair, this is the only lobby composition where you'll get fucked over like this. And I don't think it's gonna be quite so, like, there are gonna be lobbies with more paces. There's gonna be a lot of people just running paces, other paces for fun, right? And then maybe this works. Like, you need to have explicitly, the lobby has to be 3 Christmas Ogres and no one else who's gonna beat your Dober in the mid race, and then she's basically fucked. In those races, you're probably gonna wish you had a second Dominator, right? So I think whether or not you bring the like a late surger ace like this to Gamba is gonna depend on whether or not you think that there's going to be a lot of like everyone bringing double dom lobbies. You could also, I think you can hedge your bets on a single front if the meta for the race has fronts in it. There's a chance you get a bad lobby for it, but you still have 2 other aces. Yeah. I think fronts are going to be, while I think fronts are very good in this CM, I think they are going to be relatively, well, not fronts. While I think Saiyan Sky is very good in this CM, I think it's going to be a little uncommon to see people running fronts. I'd be more likely to wager that people are just going to run like other paces that aren't Oguri for some reason, that they're going to have like you're going to run into the dedicated front player who's going to have their Saiyan Sky, and she's going to probably perform quite well on average, right? But, so it really depends on how likely you think this fucking lobby composition is, where there's no, it's literally just 3 Christmas Ogres and a bunch of Dominators. I don't think that's that common, right? I don't think that's that common. So it's probably not a bad idea to have your Dober. Because the one thing is, I don't think you can just rely on NSM. It could be a nice fallback, but there's a big, like, dead zone, right? Between your Dober being, like, in front of the late pack here, in 4th, and then she's cooked, or your Dober being 4th, but instead of being, you know, there, she's, like, over here, right? This is going to be really hard to do, I think. I think Christmas Ogre is going to be very hard to catch up to, assuming they're well-built. And if they're not well-built, then we're kind of theory crafting for nothing, right? But, like, the fact that she's going to get a mid-race speed buff right here, right? And, I mean, people are loading them up. Christmas Ogre is an Uma that naturally wants to sit at 1200 wit anyways, right? She has a mid-race speed skill ultimate. And, I mean, there's just obviously a lot. Pace has a lot of good mid-race skills as well, so... Depends on how much mid-race Dober gets. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, think about it this way. Dober has to have enough mid-race to, like, basically overcome not only being a late surger, so she has to, like, not, like, she has to build, like, bridge this gap between her and the paces, but she also has to do it through Festive Miracle, right? Christmas Ogres do have to give up 500 to 600 points on recovery. That's fair. That is true. That is true, right? So you could definitely have, like, a couple extra mid-race skills, right? It is gonna have like maybe that can make up for this, but what I've been noticing in lobbies, there are a lot of fronts. All the pace Ogres usually swing very wide on the front corner to try and pass on the final corner, try and pass them, I guess. Yeah, I think a lot of fronts is definitely the closest thing to a counter that exists, right? For your build with groundwork, it's another few hundred. Well, yeah, but this will also mean that I'm probably further ahead than you won the early race. Like this is a mid race. This is distance between us and the mid race, right? Like these are giving up speed, like distance in the mid race. The groundwork and the shrewd step are building distance in the mid race. So, hydrate, great idea. I reached over, my water wasn't there. It was slightly off. So basically, I think at first I thought there were gonna be a lot more lobby compositions that fucked Dober up. Dober I think is probably not a bad idea actually. The more I think about it, the only thing that I'm worried about basically is the opportunity cost of giving up a Dominator, essentially, right? Because no matter how good Dober is going to be, right, like, your primary win condition is likely, well, hold on, is that true? No matter how good Dober is, how consistently is Dober going to hit her ult and go nuts? Probably not that inconsistently now that I think about it, but my point is, if your primary win con is still Christmas Ogre, right, and your primary rival is still other Christmas Ogres, then if they have 2 Dominators and you have 1, that's a lot of distance you have to make up, right? Dominator it's very easy to do the math on how much distance Dominator accounts for. It is just this number times the duration in meters, right? So in a 2000, this is going to be 1.5 meters. It's going to be about 3/4 of a length. No, a little less. It's 1.5 over 2.5, right? 1.5 over 2.5, yeah, 0.6. 60% of a length, right? 3/5 of a length. So you are just going to have to make... People might bring hesitant pace, but not necessarily hesitant late, if that's worth considering. Yeah. So my point is that you're going to have to make up another 1.5 meters on other Christmas Ogres if you don't have that second Dominator going, right? And is that consistent loss of 1.5 meters to those Christmas Ogres worth every now and then Dober explodes and beats everyone, right? I'm not sure it is. Obviously, it depends heavily on how often, right, a well-built Dober is going to hit her ult, how often she's going to actually beat the Ogres, right? I think it is a very important thing to note that I don't think Dober hitting Moving Past and Beyond is going to be like a, you know, oh, the Dober hits Moving Past and Beyond, she's definitely going to beat Christmas Oguri now, right? Not necessarily the case. It is a better Excel, right? But Festive Miracle comes with speed carryover and a 0.3 Excel, right? And if you combo it with Nimble Nav, it's probably going to be pretty good, right? It's probably going to be pretty good. But yeah, it's not like the odds, like, Dober's win rate is not just her ultimate hit rate, is my point. I'm pretty sure. There's an opportunity cost to bringing her, and it's losing that second Dominator, and I'm not sure if that's worth it. Because, like, you can differentiate your Christmas Oguri from other Christmas Ogures for sure, right? You have to stack with Nimble Nav at least. Yeah, and that's where you get into trouble, right? Because if, like, let's assume again that I'm the only one running a late surge or ace, which maybe is not true, right? But let's assume for a second that it is, right? If this is our lobby composition, and this is 5th, right? That's great. That's awesome, right? I pop my, like, I'm 5th right there. I pop my Dober ultimate. Awesome. It's kind of difficult. Like, I don't really have anything to Nimble Nav off of here. Like, I either have to be in 6th right here, behind, like, another late surge or ace, likely, and then I can Nimble Nav, and I'm going crazy with it. Or I have to catch up to the Pace Chasers, which is not super consistent, right? So you add, like, you add a second layer on top of it of not only does the lobby composition have to be one where you can get 5th or 6th consistently, which is for, like, a place where, you know, lots of pace is going to be common. I think that's not actually too hard. This is not, like, a huge requirement, but it is a requirement that is still meaningful and is not going to hit probably about half the time or something. You then also have to have had a mid-race that works out where you can Nimble Nav off someone. So, you know, is that win condition worth giving up a second Dominator? And that's basically what I've been talking about for the past fucking hour. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's an interesting question. Especially if you're saying that it's not just a Dominator, right? If it's not just a Dominator, it's also like a hesitant pace, right? So it's another 0.14. So it's 0.4 times 6 now. So it's like, what is this? This is fucking... What am I saying? 0.4 times 6? 2.4 meters? It's a length, yeah. So is it really worth giving up a length on your debuffer? What is your plan to build up an extra length on your Christmas Oguri? It's hard to say. Dober can win, absolutely, right? Dober can absolutely win. And it's a bit of an anti-synergy here, right? Because if... I know I'm really going back and forth on this, but I think it's an interesting... As boring as the CM's meta is, because of the fact that it just completely revolves around Christmas Oguri, as boring as that is, there is still an interesting bit of how the meta evolves around her here, right? How does the horse factor come into play with tenacity, spirit, and friendship in a spreadsheet numbers game? They're training. If they didn't have that tenacity, spirit, and friendship, they would never make it through the fucking man's careers that we put them through. Oguri becomes a lot worse of a win condition the more fronts there are in a lobby, right? So then the idea of, like, okay, well, Oguri, I really need a second ace because Oguri is not, like, Oguri, the chance that Oguri hits the nuts is not very high, right? So I need a second ace for redundancy. As it currently stands, right? If we assume that Oguri is, hitting, like she's getting U equals MA squared, the chance of her hitting the nuts, it's like pretty close to like 80% plus, right? Like it's like a 98% chance of her hitting her ultimate, right? And like I guess you want her to hit like a decent enough mid race. Like she doesn't necessarily need to have another Excel, but like if you want to say that she has a really good mid race and hits another another Excel, either Nimble Nav or head on at a good time and has a decent mid race, I mean it might be like 60% or something like that, right? The odds that she like hits her good shit. It's probably enough by herself, right? You can build that extra length by swinging a carrot hamburger steak at the finishing line. I do not take responsibility for what happens with the other Oguries. Yeah, I think that probably endangers the whole stadium, man. I don't know. So, you don't really need a second ace. Now, this is the problem with her, is that she is too consistent, right? You don't really need a second ace. We normally talk about, you want 3 aces. Because, 3 aces is 3 different chances to hit your nuts, right? Well, when I say it like that, maybe you shouldn't hit your nuts 3 times. It probably would hurt, but it's 3 different chances to hit, like, your win condition, right? And usually, win conditions are not very consistent. There's just so many factors at play as to whether or not they hit, right? Like, you need to hit, this exact combination of 2 Excel skills, which are both wit checks. You need to, wit checks is usually the big one, right? But then also you need, like, positional requirements. Maybe it's very lobby composition dependent, etc., etc. It's not really the case with this lady, right? Like, it really is just, if her 4 recoveries are in play, which, like, 1 front does not take U equals MA squared out of play, right? In fact, yeah, like you need, like, 4 or 5 or so. Like, it's not really gonna happen in regular lobbies, right? So, in that case, I mean, honestly, one weakness you could say is that, if anything, oh no, never mind. I thought U equals MA squared was 3rd or 4th. No, never mind. No, it's 3rd or better. Yeah, so now, yeah, never mind. My bad. I thought there was gonna be a weakness in the strategy for a second. I didn't realize. Yeah, so you really do need, like, 4 fronts to make this a consistently big problem for her, which, like, this is not really gonna happen. And, like, if that doesn't happen, the wit check part for her ultimate is basically gone. It's a 2% chance she doesn't hit it. It's essentially negligible, right? And then it's just a matter of, like, all right, well, I just want her to hit, like, a decent enough mid race, which shouldn't be that hard with 1200 wits, right? So there's not really an inconsistency here. Things are supposed to be either very strong and inconsistent or very consistently good. Like, very consistently, like, fine, right? Or interactable in some way. If they are very strong and under the right conditions are very consistent, then the idea is that you're supposed to be able to build your team in such a way to make that right condition not happen, right? Taiki Shuttle is always the perfect example of this, in my opinion, right? Taiki's ultimate needing her to be in exactly 3rd or 4th, right? If she's like a pace chaser right here or something, and there's like a front or 2, right? It's not so hard for her to do that. But, in those conditions, it is very consistent and very strong, but you can also just go, fuck it, I'm just gonna gum up the works. I'm gonna bring, like, 2 pace, 1 front, or like 1 pace, 2 fronts, like my own Taiki and 2 fronts, or just go anti-Taiki entirely, right? Run just like 3 fronts or something, and you can just turn off her ult entirely. You can't really do that here. Best you could do is take it from a 98% chance to activate to a 80% chance to activate, right? Which is not exactly, I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not exactly super good counterplay. So the question becomes, is running a second ace worth it at all, right? And this is where I feel like the more I talk about it, the more I feel like the answer is no. Which is really lame. I don't want to run 2 debuffers, personally. But, like, if you just want to do it because you want to run, you want to run your Oshi and why not, then yeah, sure, right? But I'm saying, like, in terms of, is it optimal or close to optimal to run a second ace? And I think the only scenario where the answer is yes is if that second ace is Saiyan Sky, I think. You could do debuffers till you get your advancement and swap to change it up. Yeah. I mean, okay, I'm okay. At the end of the day, Oguri, I mean, I've run Oguri in every single CM so far. Even, I mean, it's really hard to have a CM where she doesn't really fit, but whether it's regular Oguri or Christmas Oguri, I've run her in every CM. So I'm okay with her being, like, in a vacuum. I'm like, that's my daughter. I love that she's broken. But it is just boring meta for sure, right? But yeah, I feel like maybe the only place where the problem with Saiyan, the game, there is still, like, the game is intrinsically very interestingly balanced if you ignore her right now. The problem with Saiyan probably is the best one to just bring as an ace, secondary. The problem with that is you could just chance it on her, I guess. You could just chance it on her and bring her as your sole front and hope there's another front, right? But if you do that, I feel like she's not necessarily that much better than Dober, right? I feel like if you bring your own front and Saiyan and Christmas Oguri, then that Saiyan is really competitive with your own Christmas Oguri for sure, but now you're missing out on 2 lengths of debuffs from Dominator, Hesitant Pace, / Hesitant Front. So can you make it work? Absolutely. But I don't know if it's a good idea. You know what I mean? I think you walk into it knowing that, because the second front that you're bringing is, I mean, Valentine Bourbon's really strong, but I don't know if Valentine Bourbon is going to do that much generally unless you just are outbuilding people, right? Like, obviously, if you just have, like, a better horse, like if someone is not doing enough races, they don't have enough skill points, they don't have good skills, they don't max their stats or get close to max their stats, they didn't hit medium S, things like this, then yeah, sure, you can always just, it's hard to stat mog a Christmas Oguri, but if you sweat hard enough for your Oshi, you can do it, for sure, right? But if we're saying you actually want to have a composition that can beat ones that are pretty fucking good, I don't know if Valentine Bourbon is really gonna do anything there, right? She's gonna, like, if she pops Angling and Scheming and her ultimate at, like, a perfect time, I think she just loses anyway. I feel like I've talked myself into Double Dominator. Bourbon needs a lot more. Yeah, you can make it again. Because people obviously be like, what? Could you make Valentine Bourbon? Could you make a Valentine Bourbon that has an extremely high win rate? Even yes, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could make a Valentine Bourbon that wins like 60% of her CM races. But if you put that effort instead of a Valentine Bourbon into something else, I think it would win more, right? The nice part about this game is because of how deep it is and kind of how bad it is at explaining itself, there's always going to be, like, there's just going to be a skill gap, right? Mant is the biggest case of this too. People, the skill difference between people in this scenario is bigger than it has ever been in the entirety of the video game so far, right? It is so much easier to be a lot better at someone, or sorry, a lot better than someone at running Mant than it is to be a lot better than them at running Alharu or especially URA Finale, right? So you can build a Valentine Bourbon that's going to win like 50-60% of her runs because you can just build like a top 1% Valentine Bourbon and be going up against like top 50% Christmas Ogres, and she's not so broken that she's going to beat you anyway. She might still sometimes, right? She might still, like, she certainly will. But at that point, it's like, you know, Bourbon is my Oshi, it is me, Kazuma Kiryu, right? I think my Yuji is decent there. Hard fight against Oguri, yeah. Right? Like, I'm Kazuma Kiryu, Bourbon is my Oshi, I'm gonna bleed for her. Huge respect, right? You got nothing but respect from me. But that's not the question I'm asking. My question is not, can Valentine Bourbon win very consistently if you put a ton of fucking work into it? It's, is there another option that's just better? If I put a similar amount of effort into a different build, is it significantly better? And I think it is. I don't know that she's better than just running a Christmas Ogre, that you put that, you know, build your 2 debuffers and then make a top, like, with that time you saved, make a top 1% Christmas Ogre instead. I think that probably is going to be much stronger, right? So my point is that, you know, if you bring Sei, who I think is probably the second best horse for this, pretty easily, if we're not counting debuffers as, like, good, like, if we're not counting, like, oh, well, fucking Grass Wonder is the second best horse for this because she's, like, the best Dominator horse or something, right? Well, if you count as, like, an ace, Sei and Sky is probably the second best horse for this by like, a margin. But she requires you to bring probably a dead third horse. Well, that doesn't require you. People always say things like required, mandatory, necessary, and I try to steer away from that reasoning because I think it's overly, it's thought terminating, right? It's reductive. But I think to be more worth giving up the opportunity cost of that debuffer, you probably want to make sure that she's got a good chance to win most of the races, which makes you kind of want to bring a second front, which makes, you know, your whole team's win rate a little bit worse, right, for lacking that Dominator. So, hi, Christmas Brickgery. Yes, hello there, now. It has been an hour of me just talking at my screen and not playing the video game, so. But regardless, I don't think I'm bringing Dober. Because I was never going to bring Sei and Sky anyway. We still doing 2x Dom? Yeah. After an hour of talking about it, always yapping, never playing the game. Boo, I want to see you build Biwa. I do have the Christmas Biwa, didn't I? Yeah, I pulled her. What do you do, man? 12, 12, 6. That's very interesting stat growth, sure. Passing Pro's a good long recovery. I like to get this on my Christmas Ogre. What do you do, man? Winter Runner, Fresher. She got long aptitude. She gets this VIP, this golden passing pro. She got in body and mind and pace chaser straightaways and savvy. What the heck? What do they do to her, man? If you have her VI Shin as Dom, yeah, I do not. But yeah, I think after an hour of talking, I think I have decided we're just probably gonna run double Dominator. Maybe what I'll do is the Dominator runs should not be super hard to do. So, you know, don't spend too much time. And then, like, maybe I just go, fuck it. Let's, like, you know, this Oguri right here, like I mentioned, this Oguri is very, very good. I think this is probably like a top 10% Christmas Oguri. But it is not a top 1% Christmas Oguri. Do I think that the likelihood of me getting a top 1% Christmas Oguri is likely? No, not at all. That's why it's top 1%. But it might be fun to just throw more runs into it anyway and just try and, like, really make Thanos. Like, just make, Like, it's that fucking, it's all that shit gets like misquoted or misattributed to like Socrates or Aristotle or shit. Or was it Plato? Was it Plato? Because he's fucking was jacked, right? One of the Greek philosophers apparently said something like it is a shame for a man to grow old without ever realizing the full potential of his body or something, or without ever seeing what his body can truly do or something like that. Basically, he's saying like, get jacked in your physical prime to see how fucking dope it is before it's too late. I don't have to do that necessarily, but my point is, right? It will be really cool. This is not the strongest CM the Christmas Oguri will have, I'm pretty sure, because Triple S is actually not Triple Sevens rather. Sorry, it'd be a lot nicer if it was like right here. If, for example, this was a 2200 meter course instead, and this is like right there. Oh boy, it would have been even stupider, right? Yeah, 2200. Yeah, I didn't say 2200 for any particular reason, but this is not the strongest the Christmas Oguri is going to be, which is, and I think next CM she's crazier. Yep. Which is crazy to say because she is entirely meta warping here. But my point is, it will be very fun to just try and make the strongest Uma that I fucking ever have seen in my entire life, right? Oh, I know. Is the next one Derby? Oh, the next one is Taurus, right? Which one is the Hanshin 2200? The next one's Taurus again, yeah? Derby is nice because it's just a really good track. Like, if we look at Tokyo 24, right? CM 15? Oh, okay, so not the next one, not the one after, the one after. Gotcha. Derby is a really nice track because it's just a lot of shit is, like, allowed to be good, basically. It's long enough that coefficient mogging is very doable, right? The corner and the late race stuff works really well. Like, Anglican scheming, iron, all of this is really good. The final corner stuff is really good because the final corner is right there. 777s is still fucking really good because it's also like right at the beginning of the acceleration zone. There's mid-race uphills. There's a nice downhill past where position keep ends. There's an uphill at the end of the race, so you need a lot of power, right? It's a nicely balanced course, right? Red Maru time, yeah. Red Maru will be quite good here, probably. Christmas Oguri will still, by the way, be very good here, right? Just because of the fact that 777s is still just a good... Any course where 777s is a good activator is going to be a course where you're not going to be sad to see it, right? Late Surge or Maru, it's time. You could. I mean, honestly, the nice part about this, because the final corner happens in the late race, you don't have to worry about being too far forward too early, right? The Derby, it's a good track. It's a good track. Christmas Oguri will still probably be in the S tier for this, I imagine. But she won't be, like, alone in, like, double S tier like she is on this one, right? Any track where 777 is even remotely a good activator, Christmas Oguri's ult is just not super balanced, right? People were saying, like, for example, I remember for the Arma Keenan, right? There was some talk when we had, I forget the name of the cup, but Arma is 2500, right? I think it was this. Yeah, it is this one. There's some talk about Christmas Oguri not being very good here. And, like, compared to what she is now, compared to, like, this CM, yeah, absolutely. But, like, she was still really fucking good here because 777s was even passable, right? Like, yeah, 777s was pretty late because the late race starts. 777s was, like, this is 833 meters away, right? So 777s was 67 meters in, right? Even still, she was really fucking good in the Arma Kina. She worked as a pace, she worked as a late. I feel like a lot of the times that I lost to people a lot of times that, like, my Christmas Oguri did very well here, and a lot of times that she lost, obviously some of them were just ends, right? But a lot of times that she lost was also to other Christmas Oguris. She was very, very strong on this track. Anytime where 777 is even remotely useful, this horse is going to be pretty close to S tier, if not S tier, right? And if it's like actually like if it's perfect, like some shit like this, right? Then it's just not it's not super fair. It's not. Well, I guess one thing you could actually say, one argument you could make. Where's the final corner here? The final corner is late race starts there. Final corner starts. Yeah, there's an argument you could make. Final corner stuff's a little better on this track, right? It's only 83 meters away, whereas in Nakayama 2000, right? With Nakayama 2000, the final corner is like over 100 meters away. So like accelerations that work on the final corner are weaker here compared to the next CM, right? And RNG straight descent sometimes, yeah. So maybe it's like comparable if she's as good, like maybe she's as good here as she is in the Hanshin 2200, but regardless, how good she is on both of them is too good, right? Christmas Oguri would be more balanced if her ult could only proc on 3 to 5 or something. It's hard, right? Because if I think the ult is probably just not very well designed, because if you have to get 3 recoveries and there's a position requirement, it might actually, I don't know if it'd be bad, right? But I think that might be kind of bad, right? On a lot of, like, she would only be, like, it really would relegate her to exactly the 2,000 meter or 2,200 meter tracks probably, which is maybe okay, right? Make her like a Taiki shuttle type specialist, right? But even then, she wouldn't be super good on those. Like having a bunch of, like, Taiki's ult is really good, but that's that positional requirement, which makes it interactable, right? You could have just made Festive Miracle a thing where I feel like you have to change how the ult works, because if she has to buy 3 recoveries, pop those 3 recoveries, and get a position requirement, I think the ult's actually too bad. But what you've made the ult, like what it does, is just a little too ahead of its time. It feels like, right? Like it being, like this just being like a 5-second, by the way. Right? This is also weird. Like a lot. Like I know it's a 0.3 excel, sure, but it's also a 0.25 speed and a stamina. Like you know, I know we give point, but like, you know, like 5 seconds and target speed and acceleration and a stamina recovery. It's just you just overstated it to the point where either you have to make it the kind of thing that like can almost never hit, like Meteor Orion. Like this is like comparable. This is comparable to a Dober ult. This is comparable to a Meteor Orion ultimate. Genuinely, right? In some cases, it could be better easily, like in the raw magnitude of it, not in the probability, just in the magnitude of what happens when this hits. This is comparable, right? So you either have to just make it something that like never goes off, which I guess you could do. You make something really hard to trigger, like Meteor Orion Ultimate or something like that, or you have to like not make it work this way, right? Hypothetically, what about 4 recovery procs instead of 3? Yeah, I mean that'll make it certainly a lot worse. With 1200 wit now, for example, her popping her ultimate, we go 0.925 to the 4, right? Well, it's still 73% chance, really? I guess, yeah, because it goes about 10% less every time. It's not that much worse, man. I mean, it would make it so you couldn't really realistically get around needing, like, you couldn't get to like the 98% chances to pop, I guess, right? It's still a really good hit rate on this. I feel like you could. I mean, again, you shouldn't have made it like this, probably. But you could just take the target speed off of this entirely. Or maybe the recovery off of this entire. The recovery is kind of in line, like, uniquely with what it does. But maybe you could have taken the target speed off of this entirely and just had it be an Excel ultimate. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it is crazy to say, but like, this is so overstated. I think you could just remove one of these lines, and Christmas Oguri would probably still be good for a lot of CMs, you know? But it's like, the fact that she can get speed carryover on a lot of mediums, she gets mid-race, like she just gets mid-race positioning, right? She just gets the length from the mid-race velocity part of the ult, and then she gets it into speed carryover, and then it's a 0.3 excel. This is a 10-second ultimate on the Satsuki show. Or like on longs, if she, like I had my Christmas Oguri one time on the CM we just had, which was 3200, right? Which one was it? Was it Hanshin 3200? We had Hanshin 3200, right? Oh no, Hanshin 32. Oh yeah, no, it is. Yes, it's all the way down here. That's right. Yeah, I had my Oguri pop her ult here. She popped it at 777s. She missed. I just had 777s on her for her career consistency and Mant, right? And it like, she missed one of her other recoveries, and 777s popped right here. You'd think, okay, well, she's cooked, right? But what happened? What ended up happening is she just got lucky on her downhills. I guess she popped 2 recoveries before this. Somehow she didn't, like, I think she just hit good on her like non-full spurt on the wit check too. So she got an almost full spurt. And then after this hit, this was just a 18-second fucking 0.25, right? It just became, like, in its worst case scenario, it just became anchors away in the late race, right? Like, this was Like, it was the worst possible case for this. It popped on fucking 777s, and the acceleration was worthless. The recovery at that point was kind of worthless. I guess maybe she recalculated her spurt and went a little faster, right? But in the worst case scenario, it was anchors away, right? So she won that race by quite a bit. Granted, well, it wasn't a super strong lobby, but this just, why is this just here, you know? I think it being an overstat is fine, but I hate how it's just uninteractable. Yeah. I guess probably this is the problem, right? Because they wanted this. Like, this is a condition, right? You do have to, like, this requires you to build the Oguri correctly. This requires you to do a lot of thinking on how you build your Oguri, right? You have to find the good recoveries. You know, it's often a fun little puzzle on every CM of, like, all right, like, what recoveries are good here? This is very fun as, like, the guy with the Christmas Oguri, as, like, a building exercise, right? But the problem with this is there's nothing your opponent can do to stop it. So I maybe at the actual root of it is the fact that they made it so this was what you needed to do to activate this, right? It is just the fact that the condition is, there's no, it can't be this strong and this uninteractable, right? Now, maybe it's fun to have strong shit hit. But yeah, probably this is actually the bigger issue. I think I might agree with Toad on this. Maybe 0.2 excel, 0.2 target speed, remove recovery. The thing is, I feel like for what she's doing, the recovery makes a lot of sense. Like the fact that you were popping recoveries to get this and you get another one, right? But certainly removing the recovery would make her... It will probably end up costing her skill points, right? Like this is the difference between a white recovery and a... No, it's not the difference between a white recovery and a gold recovery. It's a little more, isn't it? No, golds are 5.5. Yeah. So this is about the difference between a white recovery and a gold recovery, right? So if you remove this, Oguri would often have to grab one of her recoveries or one more of her recoveries as a gold to get the same kind of stamina cheating that she can currently do. I mean, you would be taxing her on 180 skill points there. That would matter. I don't know if that matters that much on the places where she's the strongest, though, right? Like, that would hurt her for, like, longs, where she is good, but generally not, like, ridiculously oppressive, right? I think that doesn't matter that much on, like, a medium. I suppose it will probably make things like stamina debuffers and stuff like that more effective against her on mediums, but I think this is probably the issue, right? What they end up doing, right, to my understanding, what they decide on doing, I agree, though, the main issue is that it's too forcible for its power level. Yeah. I think what they end up doing, to my understanding, how the game's meta ends up evolving, is they go, what if we just gave everyone so much crazy shit that this just, like, you know, if right now, right? If right now the average power for an Uma is like here, and Christmas Oguri Festive Miracle is like here, right? So like she's like up here and your Oshi is like down here on average or something. I think what they do is they just go, fuck it, like everyone's here now. And we just keep her right there, you know? And then suddenly it's like, well, like it just, you know, too forcible for its power level depends on the game you're in. Right? Like if the average Uma was getting all of this shit without activating the recoveries, for example, this ultimate would be ass. It'd be terrible, right? So to my understanding, what they do is they just go, fuck it. You know, Evo skills patch, lots of buffs for everyone. You know, more cards that give just shit like, you know, 2 golds eventually, shit like that. And it's like, well, who cares, right? Suddenly, this isn't that bad. Like, yeah, I think it's still strong, but Christmas Oguri ult alone clears every Aishin flash in the game right now. It's a crazy ult. It's a crazy ult. All right, so if we're going double dominator, how do we go double dominator? I think it is. I was having this this chat with Vayne in the Haunts chat yesterday, actually, but I think I've changed my mind since I talked, because I was thinking, like, basically, I think hybrids are more fun to run, but well, maybe you don't need a ton of investment in a late surger to make them a hybrid. You know what I mean? Maybe all you need to do is just, I mean, it's still a lot of investment, but since you're not aiming for that high of, no, you need, like, yeah, you need stats. Guys, like, if they just hit on your left and NSM at the perfect time, don't they just win? Sometimes, I guess, but I mean, if they don't have, like, you know, if they don't have almost max speed and, like, medium S and high power and stuff, maybe you can ignore their power is where you can get it. You can ignore their power and just hope to slam, like, a 0.8 excel on them out of nowhere. I guess that's not bad, actually. So yeah, no, the question now becomes, how do we do this? Hybrid Rudolph is pretty fun. Unfortunately, I do not have Rudolph. Power get to like 900, 1,000, maybe even a little less. I mean, I think it's hard to get. You want probably maximum wit. You probably want maximum speed. You probably even, I mean, if you're planning on basically this horse doesn't do anything unless she hits on your left at a good time and NSM, you probably get away with even like 700 power or something like that, right? The difference between 700 and 1200 is about a 0.2 excel, I think. But I mean, you have a 0.5 excel over Christmas Oguri, so I guess you just hope for the best there, right? So if you're gonna go full debuff, which is probably a good idea for Tachyon, I would wager, right? There's a connection error. There's a connection error. Excuse me. Hello? Okay. There was not a connection error. I've been lied to. That's fine. 1212, 1100 is pretty able to CM. I don't know if you're changing that deck that much for debuffers. I think you probably, if you want to make them a full debuffer, you are. If you want to make them a hybrid, then no, right? Like if you just want them to be a Dominator hybrid, then yeah, right? It comes built in. It came free with your fucking self-determination, right? It's just in their kits. All you're doing is paying the skill points for it, and then you just bring the deck you brought on your Ace Oguri. I guess the question becomes, right? Like, what else? Because I mean, here's the problem with this: is that there's a couple of problems with just saying, okay, I just spend some skill points on Dominator. My mid race is going to be a little bit worse, but otherwise, I just build them like an ace. Dominator is going to have a hard time activating super consistently if there are not a bunch of fronts in the lobby, right? We talked about this earlier, but Dominator needs you to be explicitly 6th or worse. That's a big difference, right? Dober need to be 5th or 6th. It's nice, but like if we have 3 paces and even 2 fronts, right? Even then, if you're in a lobby full, like, well, I guess that would be, you have 4 left, yeah, so it's like 4 Dominators. If your Dominator ends up here, she's not propping, right? And this is like pretty good. Like, this is already like, there are probably more people in front of you than there will be, right? If you end up in a lobby, which I think is not going to be that uncommon, of like 3 paces and like 6 Dominators, right? This one and this one don't pop their Dom, right? And if Dominator is one of the big things that you're bringing them for in the first place, like if you weren't going to bring Dominator and just wanted to run a late surger, why are you running Tachyon, right? Why are you not running like Dober, right? Like a big part of the value they're providing is Dominator in the first place. So it's kind of like, it's rough to me not be able to hit this, right? And I mean, this is even assuming there's not like some freak lobby where there's like, maybe there's only like 2 Ogres and there's like an end closer in there or something, right? So, and if there's like 4 paces, then again, like this one doesn't hit their Dominator. So it's almost like you almost kind of, I think there's an argument to be had there that if you're running them as debuffers, you probably want to run them end. And if you're running them as end closers, they can't really gamba anymore, right? They lose access like to all of the good gamba shit they could do, so you just want to full debuff them. So there's like one problem with hybrids is I think it's hard to just go, okay, well, I'm just gonna get the Dominator value every race and then I'm gonna try and gamba otherwise. It's not really gonna happen as consistently as you might want, right? And then on top of that, there's also the matter of like, well, there's other debuffs, right? Might have to borrow the Serious Wit card. Isn't Serious a PAL card or like a group card? Like there's, so I mean, there's obviously the Hesitance, right? Hesitance, you can get Hesitant Pace, and I think, I mean, if you're gonna go full debuffer, you might as well get Hesitant Front, right? Even Hesitant Late, if you can. Luckily, the GOAT, Marvelous Sunday, gives you both of these, right? So it's very easy to grab both of those off a very, very good card in Marvelous Sunday. For On the Brink, it's not style specific. Who's Serious Wit? Oh, Symboli! Not Team Serious, Serious Symboli, right? Puppy Chen? Is that who you're talking about? Puppy Chen, yeah, oh, this one, yeah. When you said Serious, I thought you meant the group card. Yeah. From the Brink, position towards the back, late race, increase acceleration. If you're building a late surge or ace, this is maybe not a bad idea, right? It's still unreliable because it's phase random, right? But it's unideal. It's not. It is interesting. It is interesting. But yeah, so I mean, hesitant pace, for example. This is another, like straight up. This is 6 seconds. This is another 0.9 meters. It's almost a meter, right? So I mean that's a big deal. If you can get Hest in front as well, it's a pretty big deal. I don't know what other debuffs are like worth talking about. I guess we can take a look real quick. On the Brink works for end. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's still not. I mean, if you're running them end, you're probably not running them as an ace, is my point, right? Because guess what? If you pop on the Brink at the perfect time, you lose to Christmas Oguri for free, right? Like, that's assuming you're putting all of your end aptitude sparks on people who have, like... What is your end aptitude? Ms. Wonder. F. Right? Like... F. Maybe Rudolph? I think Rudolph has, like, NC? Is that... I think so? Like, regular Rudolph might have NC? Yeah, I think regular Rudolph has NC as well, right? So it's, like, something, but, like... If you're gonna put them in, you've sort of committed them to being a full debuffer, right? Stam debuffer is useless against Christmas Oguri, kind of, I think. I mean, we can see. Let's take a look. Let's run it through right here. But I would imagine, yes. Let me take a look. Like, if we go to the race simulator, and I put in, like, let's look at this fucking Oguri that I'm rocking here. I guess we can use the AI screenshot thing, I suppose. 4 recovery plus ult, she's not dying. I mean, she is gonna be under, like, they are going to, like, not have a lot of stam on her baseline, but we can see. What do you even do if you don't run debuffers? Fronts, right? I mean, you probably should be running your own Christmas Oguri, but if you don't, you could run 2 fronts and Gamba late surger or something. Yeah, sure. And then we have a couple more skills to put on. Shrewd Step, Hydrate, Pace Chaser, Savvy, 777s. Shrewd Step, Hydrate, Pace, Savvy. No, not double circle. Single circle. 777s and Groundwork. And Head On. Head On. Okay. So this Oguri, this baseline, let's say she's on a normal mood, right? And we are not here. We're... Oh, it's not updated. That's fine. Nakayama, 2000. Sunny, Firm, Spring, Run. Right? So Oguri has 100% spurt rate by quite a lot. I'm pretty sure. Right? If we just threw... Let's, like, throw Sukuna right here. Let's throw a Nice Nature. And let's just see... just ignoring everything. Let's just throw murmurs at her, because the simulator always assumes that skills go off, right? How many murmurs do I have to throw at Oguri before she falls over, right? Murmur. 1 murmur? 100% spurt rate. Oh, what? He is late surging. That's... Oh, 99% spurt rate. Hold. Bite through it. 2 murmur. Oh, I can't give multiples here anymore? On the other one, you could give multiples. Okay, well, let's say All-Seeing Eyes. It'll assume that that hits as well. %? Wait, why? Is it factoring in that it doesn't get her? Let's do Late Surger Savvy. It should have lowered the number, at least. Why is it just not hitting her? Oh, I guess, it's because maybe it's after the spurt, right? It'd be her survival rate that's affected, so it goes... No, it's still 91%. I guess, Okay, let's just add, I guess let's just add a bunch of hesitance or flusters. Flustered, pace, and what was the other one? And the other one, you could just add multiple debuffs. I actually do want to, this one's really old, but I think it's still good for what we want to do here. Oguri, that one. Ah, shit, it's hard to get the info in. It is pretty hard to get the info. She has 19 skills. I'm just a little lazy. It's flustered and it's... No, it's not hesitant. What's the other stamina debuff? Subdued! That's the one. This is not quite another murmur, but... I mean, so we're hitting it with 5% worth of stamina debuffs right now, and she's rocking a 95% spurt rate on normal mood still. Right? How can we even get more than this? We could give her something that eats her own... Oh, and this is, by the way, this Oguri is already eating 0.1 stamina from herself because she has a lifelong dream, a moment's flight, right? This is basically what happens when you hit Christmas Oguri with 2 murmurs. Look at this. This is Christmas Oguri hit by 2 mystifying murmurs on normal mood with 589 stamina, right? And max speed, over max speed, and distance S. Stamina debuffers are, it's going to be really hard to make a difference, I think, right? It's going to be really hard to make a difference. I don't think it's a feasible. I mean, her survival rate is 74%, but I mean, also, how far away is she when she dies, generally? 11 meters, so it doesn't really matter, right? I don't know if the debuffs are hitting. That's why you run. That's why I like running Murmur, because Murmur hits by default, and the only problem is Murmur has a condition, and it tends to assume that all conditions go off, right? So Mystifying Murmur goes off right there. But anyway, point being, stamina debuffers, not really good. Are there any debuffs that are worth talking about besides Hesitance? Intense Gaze, Slightly Unnerved Runners, and Focus Late Race. Oh, yeah, that's quite nice. It's a Field of View debuff, though. Yeah, it's a Field of View debuff. That's not gonna hit anyone. Almost ever. Right? I feel like that's not gonna hit anyone. Oguri is gonna be so far ahead of you by the time that you even get to the late race. I don't know if this is good. You might as well, like, if you have nothing else to spend your skill points on, but I don't think, I mean, this will hit, like, some late surge races, probably. But I don't think it's probably a good thing. Petrifying Gaze. You can't get this yet. Opening Gambit. Decrease acceleration in the early race from Agnes Digital. It's kind of interesting. There's only miles. It's only fronts. Yeah, there's not really a ton of debuffs that are worth using otherwise. So I guess Intimidate is that, yeah. I guess you would just run, really just Dominator and Hesitant? Yeah, Dominator, Hesitant, Front, and Pace. I mean, that's probably fine. We don't need, like, stacking more than this is pretty crazy. This is already a length in just raw debuffs per debuffer. 2 lengths, I mean, like... for like for a comparison, right? Like if you look at like what is 2 lengths, that's 5 meters. If you have a 0.2 excel difference between you and someone else for 7 seconds, right? Then that'll be 49 times 0.5 times 1/2 AT squared, right? Yeah, so the acceleration difference is 0.2 meters per second. And we're accelerating for 7 seconds. Yeah, right? So this... I can't believe I binked that, honestly. I'm kind of amazing with it, no? This is basically your Oguri hitting a perfect nimble nav for the entire acceleration zone. Perfect head-on, right? This is 5 meters. This is the same thing as Hesitant Pace, Dominator, Hesitant Pace, Dominator. Wow. It's so hard to give that up, man. It is really hard to give that up. For anything. I mean, I guess if you're accelerating for longer, then it will be a bigger difference. But 7, I mean, for Christmas Oguri, sounds about right. I don't think he's going to be accelerating for much more than 7 seconds here. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say. So, point being, we don't really need to stack more of these, right? So what does the deck look like then? So if I'm building like a debuffer, are there? I need probably. I guess you want more consistency in getting these because getting them from just one Marvelous Sunday card is gonna be. Oh, Shinko Windy can give Hesitant Front. What about Hesitant Pace? Super Creek from Hint. Metro Arden gives it from an event. Ooh. Satano Diamond gives Hesitant Front. I mean, Hesitant Pace is definitely more important. But you can Krieg gives from Hint. So you can grab these 2. You just want to run in your deck anyway, right? So that's probably... You can probably call that Hesitant Front covered. You'll get it eventually. It's a lower priority anyway. For Hesitant Pace, I mean, you could run Marvelous anyway, but you might also just run Metro Arden for the guarantee. Dominator, you have baseline. Okay, so hold up. Well, actually, is it a guarantee or is it one of her? Is it a chain event or a side event? Because the side events are harder to come by. It's a side event. The glass girl wants to play. Okay. Side events are less likely to occur. Like, the odds of her finishing this is pretty. If this was like right here, it's like pretty close to. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it's likely enough on an SR that you don't really have to worry about it not happening. Right? You just go next. I mean, as a redundancy on Marvelous Sunday, like say, okay, we're running Agnes, right? We grab her and the deck. So what would the deck look like? That, you are probably there. You are probably there. Shinko Windy here instead of you. Right? Where is Windy? There she is. I mean, probably the most important thing is you don't really care about when you hit Dominator, right? Dominator is not like an all-seeing eyes thing. Hesitant Pace Chaser is not like an all-seeing eyes thing. It doesn't, like, your positioning doesn't matter. At the end of the day, a 0.25 current speed debuff is equally bad no matter when in the race it hits you. Whether it's in the acceleration zone, in the late, like if you're getting there so late that everyone else is like fully accelerated by the time you hit Dominator, that's also okay. That's fine. The only thing I guess you have to get there before they finish the race, but that's gonna happen. So you really just want, if you're going full debuffer, you want as much wit as possible. And that's like it, kind of, sort of. Okay, so stamina debuffs feel that I think Brick will eat me when I least expect it. You wish, man. You fucking wish. I guess there's no reason to not get Intense Gaze, and this gives you at least a reason to want to be somewhat close to people as the race goes on. If you can hit this, too. This is crazy. If you can stack these. Yes, I guess there's no reason to at least, because there's just not that many other cards you want to bring, right? Are they going to make me borrow Air Shakur Wit? What have they done to us? Oh my god, it's a guaranteed, and you get Spurt, which is useless, but you get it. Are they going to make me borrow Air Shakur Wit? They fucking might, man. Holy shit, it's happened. Can you believe that? It's finally happened. It's like, if this is Air Shakur Wit, and boom, boom, you have 2 speed cards. Grass Wonder and Tachyon are both 20% speed growth, right? Yeah, and so is Tachyon. Tachyon's 2010. So you don't need a 3rd speed card, so I guess you can bring a power card. Just, like, basically just try to make them... Well, I guess you don't need a power card. What you need is better mid-race. So I guess you want a 5th card here that gives you good mid-race. Maybe a 4th wit card because your power doesn't matter. You want to be, when the late race begins, you want to be close enough that Intense Gaze can maybe hit someone. I guess you want End Closer Savvy, likely? Reckon you get End Closer Savvy. I mean, you can get it from rival races, but your races are going to be a nightmare. Like, you're going to be fucking losing races left and right. I just realized. Does anyone give me End Closer Savvy? Ayabe Vega Guts. That's interesting. Ayabe Vega, yeah. Hishi Amazon. Hishi Amazon is interesting. What does she give it off of? Is it a... Oh, it's a hint, yeah. Yeah, Hishi Amazon power. That's not a bad idea. Because you're not Christmas Oguri either, so you're going to need a little bit of stamina to make sure that you don't die in the mid-race if you want to pop that Intense Gaze. Okay, so this is an interesting idea. So if we grab... my Hishi Amazon is pretty bad, though, right? Yeah. I mean, she's 3 LB. I could make her more than... Actually, no, I think I used my... I think I had 2 LB crystals. I used them on Shinko Windy, and I have not looked back. I have not regretted it since, but... Obviously, needs to be leveled up, though. I don't think I can uncap you, however. I think it's weird the level up doesn't take me to the card. I feel like it should take me to the card. Excuse me. Get some initial power, get some prio, sure. I can't uncap you, can I? Hello? Amazon, there you are. No, I can't, yeah. Oh, we're almost there. Man, you have to get her to MLB anyway for it to be worth. Yeah. That's not a bad deck. So what's the plan? Like, if we do this, running... I mean, I guess we run Tachyon as a pace during her... Well... Running her end during the career is going to be such a horrible idea. I don't think you can do it. I think it's just not. Yeah, you just don't do that. I think you probably run. Can grass run pace?
オグリキャップだ。みんなに最高の贈り物を
Where'd she
届け
go?
よう。
There she is.
ラスワンダー
Yeah, she can.
参ります
Kurasuanda. Yeah, probably run both of them pace just so the career is like fucking doable at all. Because stats, unironically, is gonna bottleneck you here a little bit because we're bringing such a shit deck.
アグネス
That is gonna mean we're gonna get almost nothing good off the rival races unless it is a medium hint, but I guess that's okay. Yeah, it's an interesting deck. Kita-san is here to make sure we hit max speed. Maybe is unnecessary. Maybe we could bring a speed SR that gives us a useful hint. But I don't think they exist. Like I think they're called Shinko Windy. The gold ship, I don't think so. Yeah, they don't really exist, do they? Yeah. So I get these two. You have hesitant front on you, right? Which is nice. You have hesitant front and hesitant pace on you. You can give us. Could us do Unity? Get about 2k skill points after like 17 or so races. I think I want them to have a chance to be in all in intense gaze range. You know, just like every now and then they hit an even more debuff on them, right? Intense gaze is not going to be consistent, but I think I want to run Mance just so they can, you know, they can try to get there as well. And then you just borrow Air Shakur Wit. I mean, this is a nightmare. This is a horrible deck, but I think it's okay if you're just like I'm trying to debuff, you know. If you're just straight up jorking it, I suppose. I think this, like, you could just go the traditional debuffer route and try and get a lot more of the like the subdueds and the like. I think didn't the new Rudolph SR? What if she's not out yet? Was there not? Oh, is she not out yet? That's funny. I thought she was out. What banner is she out on? She's like basically like the R card that all the subdueds. She has all the subdueds now. But yeah. Anyway, you could try to grab a bunch of subdueds and shit. I just don't think it matters. I think they posted a full debuff deck in Haunts yesterday. Let me see. Oh no, I remember this. Yeah. This guy. Yeah, I think that's where I thought this Rudolph was there. Yeah, I don't know if this is like what's the point of these cards, I wonder. You obviously understand why you're here. Why is Yaeno Muteki here? Let's take a look. Because I don't know if this makes a lot of sense to a guy like me. Like if we look at Yaeno Muteki, what are you doing for me? Subdued, hesitant, late surgers? I don't know. I don't think so, man. I don't think that's super worth it, to be completely real with you. I think if you want to beat a late surger, you just give that job to your Christmas Oguri. It's a deck for building an Omni debuffer? Yeah, I don't think that's good. I don't think Omni debuffers is what you're looking for. I think by and large, your pace debuffs are the most important, and then like you can definitely filter in some front debuffs. Because when you do run into front runners, they're going to be scary. No one is going to run fronts unless they're very committed to it, I think. Who was I looking at? Oh, Rice Shower. What's Rice Shower? How? Rice Shower has some flustereds as well, doesn't she? Disorient. Narrow field of view for runners behind. Unironically, intense gaze counterplay, but I don't think so. Yeah, subdued, flustered, frenzy. I just think it's... Like, I'm thinking about it this way, right? Again, we just saw this Oguri. A lot of Oguris are going to have like a little bit more stam than this, just like more power clicks are going to give them more stam, right? They might have like standard distance, you know what I mean? They might be in a great mood. This is 6% debuffs, right? Because this Oguri is getting hit by a Murmur, subdued and flustered, and she's taking 0.1% or 1% off with a lifelong dream, a moment's flight, right? So this Oguri is basically like, this is a not very survivable Christmas Oguri with also over max speed and distance S. So like at least as far as full spurts, it's going to be a little harder for her, and a shit ton of mid race and like accelerating very fast in the early game and all of that. And getting hit by 2 Murmurs, she has a 95% spurt rate. So, I mean, like I guess if you had subdued, flustered on both of your debuffers, and then one of them was also nice nature, hit her with a Murmur, that'll be 7% instead of the 6%. It's just so hard to see it mattering. If she gets rushed and you frenzy her and your Murmur goes off and she doesn't exit the rush quickly, and you hit her with all of the white debuffs, you probably have like a 65% spurt rate, I assume. I might be being a little generous too. I'm assuming that Rush plus Frenzied is an extra 30% here, which maybe, right? So like, I just don't think, and again, this is, I mean, God forbid, she fucking rolls great mood, right? Then I'm pretty sure like no matter what you do to her, you can't make her not full spurt, so. Oguri is strong because she runs after eating that Christmas meal. That's true. That's true. She's fueled up. So I just think the idea of like putting in all the like the flusters and the subdueds, this doesn't seem good to me. You know, I assume the Bakshin has hesitant fronts or subdued fronts, right? She has subdued front often. I think it's an interesting deck. Maybe on a longer track, right? I don't see value in destemming paces. Maybe you could ruin a front if they spot struggle. Yeah. I think if it's coming at the expense of just hesitanting that front, though, or I mean, if it comes at the extent of the expense of any of your pace debuffs, I don't think it's worth it, right? I think in general, the guy like my conception of this CM is the guy you call to beat everyone who isn't another Christmas Oguri is the Christmas Oguri you built, assuming that you're building a Christmas Oguri, right? Like the guy that I'm gonna rely on to kill Saiyan Skies for me, and to kill fronts, and to kill Gamble late surge or aces, and all of that, is the Christmas Oguri that I built. Because she just is, especially if we have double Dom, double Hesitant running, she's just gonna do that, like, most of the time, right? She's going to beat them on their own merits, even if they maybe didn't get Dominated. And then they're going to get double Dom, double Hesitanted anyway, right? The guy I need help with is the other Christmas Oguri. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't really care too much to run the debuffs on people who aren't Christmas Ogre. We'll do it, but even that, so if we're gonna do it, I feel like Hesitant Front is even then probably better than Subdued plus Flustered. Now I could grab you for Hesitant Front and then also grab Subdued plus Flustered. I think Satono Diamond, is it Satono Diamond has Subdued Frontrunners and Hesitant Frontrunners, the Stam cards, I think, right? Like if I look at Ms. Diamond, Satono Diamond, I think this one. I think she has, yeah. Oh, Flustered, and she can give you Hesitant. Yeah. So you could do that, I guess, right? Get rid of you. You'd have to get Subdued from somewhere. Yeah, so like you could, instead of going for Intense Gaze, you could grab your Subdued from here, I suppose, or you could get rid of some redundancy in your Hesitant Pace, but I think that's a bad idea. Like, I want redundancy in my Hesitant Pace, but... Or you can get rid of this power card, I suppose. Right? Yeah, if you drop the Intense Gaze package, you could get rid of Ichi Amazon. You don't need End Closer Savvy anymore, right? And then you could run someone to give you Subdued Front here. Yeah, it's I think that is a valid deck. Like, just running Hesitant Pace, Hesitant Front, Dominator built in, and then getting Subdued and Flustered Front, I think it's a valid debuff deck. I think I like the outside shot of hitting Intense Gaze and just killing people a little bit more, though, right? Because it's not going to be common that your Intense Gaze actually hits, I think. It's going to be more common if I can get End Closer Savvy off of that lady right there. But when it does hit, having Hesitant Pace plus Intense Gaze, which is basically another Hesitant everyone, right, who gets caught in the FOV, plus Dominator, is going to make it very hard for anything to beat the Ogre that I'm rocking, I think. Basically having a whole, like, even over someone else who's running double Dom, double Hesitant Pace, I have a whole extra Hesitant Pace over them. That's a meter, right? It's like a third of a length. It's gonna, or a little over a third of a length. It's gonna be hard for them to just get that out of nowhere. So I think I mean, it does mean you have to borrow Air Shakur Wit, which, you know, believe it or not, I don't think is on my friends list currently. I don't think I have an Air Shakur Wit just ready to go, so I'm gonna have to go find someone who has Sweep Toe. What does the Sweep Wit card do? Who has Sweep Toe or Air Shakur Wit on their fucking thing? Which, I mean, shout out. I mean, can we even find that? I mean, I assume there's an Air Shakur Oshi out there somewhere, right? It's gotta exist. There's no way it's not. Oh, is Chronogenesis dead? There you go. Added combined views for factors and rates per career. Affinity filters are now encoded into links. Clamp down rates to 100% if they go over what? Fixed initial or JP affinity calculator, grabbing factors, fixed UI issues. Okay, cool, whatever. Shout out. Air Shook. I literally don't just have an MLB Air Shakur. Surely, there's like hundreds of results, right? There's Air Shakur. Oh, she's cool. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Shout out to the Air Shakur Oshis. I don't know why you have MLB Air Shakur wits, but this particular case, I'm relatively happy about it. Man, I'm not gonna use you as a parent probably, but yeah, so I'll just grab the first one. Being in core server if you need me to change Uma. Okay, good. I was like, don't change your support card, but I guess that's never happening. Been getting Air Shakur for free for the free random SSR ticket. I think I got what's their fucking name? I got winning ticket. That's what it was. I got winning ticket off of that shit. The free one that they gave us. I still haven't done this, by the way. Can we do this? We should do this real quick, shouldn't we? How about we end? How about we just end the stream with getting this ticket? Because I feel like, why do I not have this yet? We can just throw a run. Sprint and dirt aptitude of A and get 2 training types level 5. We can do this with and lose the TS climax. Let's do that real quick. And then tomorrow, I think I might actually do that super fucking long Christmas Oguri run on stream where we just over-explain every single decision forever. Might make a cool video. For now, let's do this mission. That obviously we don't have time to do that. I think debuffer runs are not particularly interesting. We can maybe do that too, but you can do that in URA pretty easily. Oh yeah, you're right. This even meant. Oh, I don't know why I thought this had to be done in Trackblazer. Haru? Level 5 souls can be done in Unity for free. It's super easy to do in URA too. All you have to do is not care about the run. You can do it in 10 turns. It's easier to do in URA or Mant than it is in Alharu, right? You just well, not 10 turns, so you can do it in like 50 turns. Like you just click wit, and then like stam, or something. It costs the least, right? Or I guess if you want to like meet your goals, then you should probably do speed and wit. But dirt and sprint. So the Haru has we have to complete a career. We don't have to actually win anything, right? Get grabbed, comma. Jingliu is the best character. So true. I don't know. Jingliu? Is that a Korean name, or I think it's a Chinese name, I think, right? Unfortunately, I don't know how to pronounce it. Regardless, though, thank you to the follow. Sorry to have butchered your name, or the name of the character that is in your name. That's a cute little emote. I do like that. Groove. We don't have to actually win. We just have to, once we get this, we can instantly fail a goal and call it. It's a Chinese name and you said it right. If it's a Chinese name, I don't think I said it right. I assume at least there's some, maybe for like an English speaker, but I assume there's some tonality there that I probably fucked up. Are names in Chinese, or like Mandarin, are names tonal still? I assume so, right? Like it's still, like the names are, it's one of those things, like in Arabic, the names have meaning, they're words with meanings, right? So, I'm Chinese, gotcha. Yeah, like if you fuck up the tone, you probably didn't say the name anymore. You said something different. Because, I mean, I guess in English, the names have meanings too, but it feels like we're very far removed from them, right? Like, some of the names are, like, obvious, like Baker and stuff. Isn't that what a name is? No, I mean, like, in English, it feels like a lot of names, their meanings are a little far removed. Like, they're not, like, what does Jessica mean? You know? Like, what does Marcus mean? Like, I'm sure those are words that had names, or have meanings in Old English. And, like, maybe Marcus meant strong or dependable or something like that, and we've just lost the meaning. Like, Marcus does not have a meaning, right? John is, it's a guy's name from the Bible, right? Sure, it's a very common name. But, like, John doesn't have a meaning, right? Whereas, at least in Arabic, like, the names are, carried from Roman, Latin era? Maybe. Like, in Arabic, the names are, like, words. Like, they have, they have meanings, by and large. You know, like if a guy is called like, I don't know, fucking, for some reason the name that's coming to my mind is Imtiaz right now, right? That's like exceptionalism, right? Stuff like that. It's just a direct, like if, why can I not think of a single fucking name right now? This is name a woman, and I can't think of like I can't think of an Arabic name. I can't think of a name. I my own name, I suppose, right? Like I'm actually named after a horse. But the horse, like, well, I don't think I'm named after I'm not named after a horse. I think I'm named after a breed of horse because it's like like the association with the breed of horse is like, oh, like if you name someone after like a breed of horse, it's like strength and, you know, manliness and all of that. The horse itself is named that way because it is very, very dark. So streamer is Secret Uma. Yeah. So yeah, the name like the horse is named like Dehem al Soed is like the full, like it's a way to describe something that's very, very like Vanta black dark basically, and then the name of the horse is an adjective based on that. But there's still a meaning. Like I'm given a name of something, but that name is still a word that has a meaning, right? Whereas in English, it feels like it's not really the case, right? It's not really the case, or at least again, I'm sure the words have meanings. They don't anymore. So what I'm saying is, like, I assume that oh, like yeah, like Iglel or something is a name that's, you know, that happens. It's like, it is hard to translate directly from Arabic to English, I will say. Like that's like not dignification, grandiosity, something like that. A lot of it is very cool. Like a lot of names are pretty awesome. Like a lot of names are like, you know, they're pretty cool. Funny enough, Muhammad is actually one where I'm not entirely sure what it means. Not that it doesn't have a meaning. Not that it doesn't have a meaning, but I actually don't know exactly what the word means. I think it's like, hamd as in like thanking God. So Muhammad is one who thanks God, you know, one who appreciates God or something like that, I think. But I'm actually not entirely sure if that's me misunderstanding. I mean, it's the most common name, but I didn't bring it up as an example. But English names are definitely removed from original meaning, but there are a few that are literal, like hope or charity. Yep. Like though but like a lot of them feel like they're removed. Whereas like there are almost no Arabic names that I can think of that are not. You know, if I was just referring to the Prophet, well, he was named that before he was the Prophet, right? But I think it's because the idea of like gods and thanking gods and stuff like that was still around. You know, like Muhammad was named Muhammad before, like he was born with that name, and he was not born knowing at least that he was the Prophet, right? But yeah, the reason it's the most popular name, obviously, is because it is the name of the Prophet, and people tend to fuck with that guy pretty heavy. Yeah. Anyway, so I assume in Chinese it's a similar thing. Like I assume in Chinese cause I think what it is, like I imagine the reason that this happened with English is because of, oh, actually, you know, now I'm curious. Like, hope. Etymology. What? German. Yeah, okay. What about like I'm basically wondering, are the names that make sense German and the ones that don't French? I know we're not playing the horse game, okay? But because a lot of the weirdness in English and the reason why it has like stuff like that, where like most languages do not have this thing where names just don't have meanings anymore, I don't think, right? Like to my understanding, in Japanese, for example, the little Japanese that I know, names have meanings, right? Like, you know, like Yuji Itadori is something that I was actually reading today, which was fun. Like Yuji, Ita, and Dori are all like, they're kanji with meaning, and when you put them together, they become like a description of a person. Like I forget what it was, but like Yuji Itadori is like, you know, strong, compassionate, kind boy or something like that, you know? Obviously I don't fucking know, but it was something like that, right? I believe apparently it's the same thing in Chinese as well. It's the same thing in Arabic. It's the same thing in every language that I know of, except for English. And I think the reason for that is because a lot of the weirdness in English comes from the merger of French and Germanic, right? So I wonder if like okay, Marcus. Etymology, since it's coming to mind. Marcus sounds French, right? Ancient Roman. Yeah, Latin given name. Originating from ancient Rome, meaning dedicated to Mars or warlike. Yeah, okay. Yeah, linguistic stream. Yeah, it's all, I bet you all of the names that like don't make any fucking sense today are ones that are of French or Romance language origin, right? Like I imagine Marcus comes from Roman, it went to French, because French is like a Latin-based language, right? French, Spanish, Italian, all these. And then that went to English when French and German had like French and Old English, which is like Germanic in root, I think. Germanic in root, mixed, right? English names have meaning. It's just 90% of the time it's either stolen from another language or it's just a job name. Yeah, they don't have meaning in English, right? And I think the reason they don't have meaning in English is because They have meaning in French or Latin. Yeah? And they've kind of just like molded over time. Because some do. Right? Like, yeah, like hope is a German word. I want that. Is charity a German word? If it's not, my argument is certainly... No! Old French. What do you know? I guess it's not gonna be probably not gonna be a hard and fast rule, but yeah. Charit. Or something. Paris comes from deer. How interesting. It's not gonna be a hard and fast rule, but I would assume that maybe a bunch of old German shit got lost in the shuffle now and doesn't make sense anymore either, right? Like I assume Bob does not sound French. Bob sounds German. I guess. Oh no, Robert sounds pretty French, right? Yeah. Never mind. But I was gonna say, I bet you some German shit has also gotten lost in the shuffle over time. But yeah, it's not like everything that still has a meaning is gonna be German. Everything that doesn't is gonna be French. That's wrong. But it should be like I think the reason that a lot of that meaning has been lost is because of the mixing, right? The intermingling. Whereas like I think a lot of languages that aren't English, while they certainly like have changed over time and stuff like that, they are relatively preserved. I mean, maybe this is just an Arabic guy speaking, like the Arabic that the Quran was written in 1500 years ago is formal. Like it feels very formal, and it feels very like it definitely feels a little archaic, but like it makes sense to me. Like it is just it just works. Right? Whereas I'm pretty sure if you read 1500-year-old English, it would be gibberish, right? We can do URA. Dirt and sprint at A, huh? Do I have any... Haru? We could do Haru, that's true. You've seen enough of Oguri, haven't you? Just wondering if I can get, like... Oh my god. Do none of you motherfuckers have... Sprint? Oh, it's not enough. Wait, why is it not enough? Don't you have dirt B? Shouldn't one dirt spark get you to A? Oh, you don't have a dirt spark. Wait, why was I lied to? Didn't I say? Oh, this is an or, not an and. This is an or, not an and. That makes a lot of sense. So true. Anyway, since we don't have to go look, let's just Haru. Hello, Haru. Let's give you as much speed as we can because we're going to not be giving you a lot of it. That's where we want those. I guess mile sparks is probably a good idea too. That's where we actually want those speed sparks for once. Do I have any 3-star? Oh, speed pace. Sure. And then we can grab you some mile sparks from somewhere else. Haru's affinity with everyone is so bad, man. Yeah, sure. Why not? We just have to survive long enough to get speed and width to level 5. Shouldn't be too hard, right? And we just go like a full like 3 speed, 3 width deck or something. She doesn't have to run any long races, right? So we just go like... I don't fucking know. Why are there all these power cards here when I said speed? And then just like 3 wit cards or something? Like you, and like Fine Mo or some shit? Close enough. Probably fine, right? It's worth the event boost. I feel like this is probably not worth the event boost because I'm gonna immediately give up on it once we hit level 5, but... Guess all you have to do is get width to level 5 and speed to level 5. Good inherits too. I guess we just click speed when we're not at max, when we're at max energy, and width when we're not. Our speed is already good enough for like the early game, so we're not. The old music, yeah. Wait, that's true actually. The big ass numbers on them too. Pair interview. I don't think I've gotten any of Haru's costume events before. Power or stamina? Some power. Pat.
トレーニング頑張ったらご褒美もらえるんだよね。
So true, so true.
何からやる？ワクワクする
Can we
トレー
start
ニン
with
グ
something
が
exciting?
1
He's so cute. Yeah, look at the big ass numbers, because level 1 facilities in URA are so much better than they are in either Alharu or Mant. This is great. 17 wit off just a 2-click like this? You wouldn't get this shit anywhere, man. Like her little thinking noise. This is one of the top one, right? Yeah. I'll take my energy, you freak.
あれ？
It's a good speed clip.
ワクワクするね。
ワクワクするね。
トレ
It's exciting.
ふむふむ。
17 wit on level 1 looks very wrong. Yep, yep. The base facilities are so much stronger in URA than they have been in Alharu and Mant. I think they're the same in Alharu and Mant.
いくよ。
They're crazy strong in URA. Hesitant pace? Wait a second, not yet, man. Save those hints for later. Fuck a ramp up, man. Give me some mood. I want my daughter to be happy. We're not gonna fail a wit training next turn if we do this. I'll click wit no matter what, probably next turn. TM Opera, oh! What are you doing there? I've not done very many Haru runs in recent memory, anyway. I don't think I got her to 3 stars. I don't think I've done a Haru run since then. But Union Mant is the same stat progression? Yes, I believe so. Both the facilities are neutered because you get so much other shit. Arm wrestling contests? What do you think the secret is to winning an arm wrestling? Fulcrum, load, and effort, or giving it your all. Power is probably going to be better for just not having any accidents early on. Okay. 22 on level 1 wits. Look at this. What a time to be alive. Yeehaw party tonight. Prepared to pass or take my energy? I don't want you to take my energy. Orena.
トレーニング頑張っ
Sure.
ワクワクするね。
We're getting there. This is energy? No, it's 10 speed. Shit, I don't remember anything. 300 speed.
いい感じだよ。
Condition? Little guy doesn't know, man. Doesn't know. Pulse me, I guess. She doesn't lose debut with 300 speed. Right?
注目の一番人気
Good job, Haru. Oh, she won by 2.5 lengths. It was easy. Pat, pat. She's so cute, man. It's not that I don't believe in her, it's that they trained her wrong on purpose as a joke, because they're evil and fucked up.
なん
Let's let
だ
her
ろう。
rest. I don't want her to be sad like that. Final boss, Speh, excuse me. Oh. This is eating. I see, I see. Let's beat her in a race instead.
あれ？
Speed click.
ワクワクす
We should take the speed clicks where we can, because once speed gets level 5, we just click wit 100 times in a row and don't have to worry about anything. Charming? What the fuck? Only ever on the runs that you don't care about, huh? Is it not a universal law of the fucking world? Got my hesitant pace hint, got fucking right after debut charming. I bet she's gonna hit like mile S on this somehow too. Let's click wit a couple times.
ふむふむ。
We'd have to earn those fans. We can't actually, we are not going to be able to, get everything to level 5 before then, but
頑張ったら
give us a desire essentially that makes Monhun look fair. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 2 turns from now. We can't get everything to level 5 before this happens, I don't think. Actually, can we? Level 3, you have to
今
click
の
it 4 times, so I need 8 clicks on this. And 16 clicks on this? Oh, it's close, but I think I'm not gonna risk it. We'll race. We'll get past, after this first goal, we can torpedo ourselves into the next one and just lose, it's fine.
ワクワクするね。
Me getting prudent positioning hints on my paces and Uma stand on my fronts. Tail held high. What? Dude, Marvelous Sunday's going nuts with it.
今の
Oh, wait, no, we can do it then.
うららなんだ。
8 and 8. Right? We can just torpedo into this first goal. With 3 rest turns, we can do it for sure. Yeah. It's 4 clicks to level it up, yeah? I think so. I think we just torpedo. I'm gonna skip this dirt race this turn. I think I skip it. get wit to level 5, and then get speed to level 5, and just rest in the middle. We have 3 rests that we can do. Maybe 2 rests, but regardless, should be enough. Because getting wit to level 5 will get us to max. Tested frontrunners! Okay, this is actually pissing me off, no? What the fuck? Why is she so sad? Oh, she's kind of angry, I guess. Sure, I'll take some power. Whatever. So next click, we should get to level 4, right? Knight of Ill Portent. Okay. Minus 10 energy, plus 5 skill points. Receive the following skill hints in Chain Event 3. So if I don't do this... Wow, that's interesting. If I don't do this, she's not giving me anything? W Parent Run. You know. You get Uma Stan? Why the fuck would I ever... The fuck? I guess it's a medium. Yeah, never mind. I know why. Anyway. $32! Holy stats. Okay, this should upgrade it to level 4, right? If it doesn't, I made a mistake. I have to... Yeah, okay, good. I think we can do it. I think we can just torpedo into this goal. I might click speed if we get to near full energy, or I might click speed. Oh, this is full energy. Yep. Good shitty. Gotta use our energy efficiently to save on rests. Oh my god, New Year's resolutions. Dude, can you remember this shit? It's been so long. I forgot about, like, events. I guess goals as well. Remember goals, guys? Yoshi. Running with a friend is even more fun. I guess practice perfect is the best thing for what we're doing right here, but force of habit. Temptation. Slacker! Wait, that's like the one thing that you could do to fuck me over here. Oh no! Because that doesn't level up the facility, right? Alright, hold up. Maybe we should do some... Hey. Let's do some dirt races. Suddenly I'm in the mood to run on some dirt. Nothing wrong with some dirt, right? Suddenly I get the urge to do a little bit of running. Can't believe they do that shit to me. What the fuck? Nice. Uma is saying I'm onto you. It's like literally the slow metabolism, totally fine. I mean, migraine. I mean, I'd be sad about it, but totally fine. Every debuff you could possibly... Night Owl? Who cares? I guess Night Owl could be annoying a little bit, but it still probably wouldn't matter too much. Big here, Wendy. We got the goal. Okay, so now I can just... You know what? If Slacker gets me, Slacker gets me. Who cares? Okay, this time for sure. Okay. It's by the cure-all? Yeah. Isn't Slacker like a... That's the first time I think I've gotten Slacker off that event since Alharu. They lowered the rate of that thing giving you Slacker, and I think it hasn't done that for me since Alharu. Level 5, good. Now we just click speed a bunch. Bum. See, it's like he's not even a fucking Slacker, man. Whoa! What did Haru do to you, video game? I just feel bad now. We can't let her stay with all of this. Didn't cure me of Slacker, though. Oh my god! Why don't they fuck with Haru Urara, man? It's okay, Haru. Don't hang in there. Let's cure you of your slackerness. I don't know how going to the infirmary helps with this. This one's kind of fucked up, right? How does going to the infirmary motivate? Like, you know, oh, Night Owl, maybe they, you know, give her, I don't know, some sleep aids or something like that, right? Migraine, obviously, you could take medicine for that. Slow metabolism and Slacker, actually, both, now that I'm thinking about it. It's a little scary that you could... What do they do to them in the infirmary that you can make them lose weight? Or, I don't know. A stern talking to from the nurse? No! Haru, no! Tested light surge? I don't even want that! Alright, well, anyway.
海行くの？
Okay, we can't give up. It would have been nice if we could torpedo into the goal. We cannot give up, or it doesn't count, so we just have to torpedo into this one. Wait, this doesn't level up my facilities. Holy fucking shit, man. They got me. Whatever.
一緒に頑張ろう。
You know what, Haru? You get to rest.
今の裏に
Go play in the water.
行くの？
Alright. Now you can't hurt me anymore. The Chad 4 rest summer because they earned it. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Get 2 train types, level 5, and a career playthrough. And now we have to finish it with sprint and dirt aptitude, which I think it says complete a career playthrough, but that does not mean we have to win. That just means we have to not give up. So I think when we run into this fan goal and they send Haru to the glue factory, then I'm just kidding. No. They just send her. She gets to chill, you know? She gets to spend the rest of her life playing with toys. I decided to start the Uma anime, and I'm becoming fond of Special Week. Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's a little mog, but she's pretty cool still. I like her. You'd at least rank A? Wait, what? Was that the mission? I thought it was like you needed A aptitude. Am I stupid?
達成。確認を忘れずにな。
Oh, no, yeah. I am right. Oh, with overall rank! My god, why did no one say anything?
頭のベルを
Okay, hold. We shouldn't torpedo then.
なんだろう。
Can we even do this? Oh, there's a dirt race. Alright, get ready to use 5 clocks. Sorry, I can't read. No, it's okay. Get ready to use 5 clocks in case we are fucking it up. But we should should be. We can get A rank off this, I think. We're just getting like, the speed whip max. Probably would have done it at all Haru if I knew that, but
注目の一番。
win. Guy thinks he can clock non-goal races in URA. Oh my fucking god, you're right. I fucking forgot. Look at that V3 giving you 54 skill points. Mance could never, man. That's like with no race bonus in the deck too. Well, I guess no, it's not true. It's the deck with like
なんかヘロヘロ。
5, 10, 20, 35, 45. No, this is a deck with 55 race bonus. Never mind. It's a man's fucking deck. Alright, we have that goal.
僕眠くて。
I mean, I guess we just stat max. It's okay, rest up, daughter. I mean, she is well rested. She goes to bed at a good time. If only you had showed up earlier when I had migraine and shit. URA is better than Mant because you don't get fucked randomly in races here. Yeah, but like you can get fucked in like every race you ever do in Mant and accidentally trip into A+. You know, like it's like the not getting A rank would be pretty crazy.
あれ？
But I guess Mant would be kind of rough for Haru. Hey, wait, max me?
ふむふむ。
Humma. He's thinking real hard about it. Bum. Run and oh, that means I have to fucking see the run and Armakinen? Why are they doing this to me, man? I'm alt tabbing when that happens. It doesn't exist. I pretend I do not see it.
じゃあやりましょうか。
New York Haru is pretty good for Mant or alt carries. Ooh. I think I do have New York Haru.
始まる前から。
Momdani Stan Haru?
注目のいい
私頑張ったもんね。
It's a little scary. It's okay though, she wants to get 5th anyway. So, whatever. Like she has 700 speed, no? It's a little spooky, I'm not gonna lie to you. I guess, yeah, I didn't train her wrong on purpose as a joke. February stakes. Look at my Uma, man, I'm going to jail. 51 wits! I have like a motivating megaphone or something? Okay, sure.
一緒に頑張ろう。人参たくさん食べ。
Ninjin? Carrots? Hesitant late surgers, sure, why not? Tail held high, sure, why not? I don't think we can literally trigger. I don't think we can trigger tail held high, but it's all rating. It's all rating, baby. Should I like chase her anyway?
14番春うらら
Like, is it just should I front run her? She doesn't have an ult at all, and we don't have any reasonable skills. And like we don't care about her like downhill mode. This is just the least error prone, right? Yeah.
やったやったやったいっちゃ
Yatta yatta yatta, by the way. Pat, pat, pat. 69 skill points. What have they been teaching you at Tracing Academy? Oh, she just gets charming randomly. I forgot about this. It's like guaranteed as well. I don't think it's like a Maya's love advice thing. Like if that event pops up, she just gets charming, which is pretty crazy.
何からや
It
る
makes sense though. Who wouldn't want to be friends with Haru? Whoa! I think we're getting A rank, guys. 71 wit. Wow. If we get 1202 stats, I'm pretty sure that's like S. Or no, maybe like A plus at the very least. Because the rest of it's going to be not super inspiring. He's going to the spelling bee and she's going to fucking ace that shit. It's a good inspiration too. Fanfesto. Oh! Wit max me, I guess. Speed's looking fine.
それ
Looking on track to 1200 both of them, I think.
じゃあやりましょうか
Bro, where is this on my runs? I mean, to be fair, this is 3 speed, 3 wit. You wouldn't... Like, this is not a... if you're running this on your runs, you're making a mistake. Of course, the rainbow's going to be better. We have, you know, more.
トレーニング一緒に頑張ろう
Do. Sure, extra training. Why not? Akikawa friendship with the director's fan at the end. My god. I do love it, though.
やり
I
まし
do
ょう
love it, though. Now we just drop some power ankle weights. And we get triple 1200s, man.
トレ
Whoa!
ーニング
You don't have any speed growth, do you, little guy? No, you don't.
私
God damn. I guess level 5 training, sure.
やるわよ
I still miss being able to jam out 3 runs of my morning coffee.
今の
Just play URA again, man. They can't stop you. They will not defeat us.
ウィンディーちゃんに
Windy-chan. Right-handed. Okay, the hints have been going crazy, I will say. Right-handed, hesitant pace, hesitant front, tail held high. It's just they're playing the hits, man.
注目の一番に
He's a frontrunner at heart. What can I say? She knows that the only time she's been meta in a CM is as a front. Well, maybe not meta. Maybe meta is a little bit of a stretch, but
今の
she races in summer camp? I didn't even notice they did that shit to me. What the hell?
海行くの
Go play in the water, daughter.
何張り切っていこう
Clicking speed just for the power at this point, genuinely. Watch me get Agamasen by this curvature here. Yup.
トレ
Well, I guess it's not Agamasen, but you can get the level 3 hint, which I think is also based on your speed. Like a 90% chance to hit
や
that.
るわよ
I think.
大魔法
Maybe it's only the ones that give you whites and golds, but at least it feels like when I have higher speed, I get the 10-10 3 hints more often. Solid looking team trials Haru. Yeah, with her none skills that she's going to have. Probably still better than most of my team trials team, considering most of them are URA, but
一緒に頑張ろう
Ba-da-bum-bum. With her none skills and not enough stamina for a mile.
たくさん食べた
Grab curvature, I guess. Grab right-handed, I guess. I don't see why not. This is pretty much... I think if the career ended right here, she'd be A rank. So I think we're fine.
やったやったやったいっちゃ
Yatta, yatta, yatta. A little +4 to all 69 skill points. Meticulous measures. The fuck? Oh no. Look away.
トレーニング
Don't worry about it, Haru. It's fine.
頑張ろう
We can skip this one if you want, Haru. You don't have to do this. Watch the race. I actually don't know what you would pay. You would have to pay me to get me to watch the whole thing. Be a good amount, though. I'm definitely not doing it for free. I don't want to do it at all, I would say.
見ててね
Look at that. White, white. Hey, Tazana, what do you think? Well, At least we did really well on our math homework, right? Just
4番春うだら16番みんな強いね
nothing
今
happens.
負けないぞ
Well, I mean, listen, right there, he was like, everyone's really strong, but I won't give up or I won't lose or something. Right. Sounds good. Nothing is happening. Skip. Nothing's happening. Don't worry about it. Nothing is on my screen right now. It's fine. This is just yeah. See, there you go. She's just standing there, normally. She's happy even. She completed all her goals. I ignored like the one frame of that. Definitely don't pause on that. Okay. Yeah, we just quick whip 3 times in the career ends as a. I mean, I know Mantis kind of fucked my my head a little bit for like what different ratings look like, but this is definitely A+, isn't it? I think like just baseline maxing 2 stats is pretty much always going to be A+. Yatta. How much are we getting out of these? 15, damn. It's that good, that race bonus. S rank for sure, you think? I'm not sure if it's S, actually. It's definitely A+. I don't know if it's S. Maybe. You might be right. All these bumps up to the speed, the power, stam, and guts. The power being about 600 might actually help. Actually, it'll be a little... Yeah, the power hitting B might actually make a difference. Sure, grab speed star. Why not? Just because you are a star in my heart, Haru. Let's go Fox with me. We'll get a little bit of +3 probably to all from her at the end as well. Are we a hot topic? Are people pumping out S rank Taikis in URA, or is that in Unity? No, you can get S ranks in URA. I'm just not sure if this is. I feel like you had a bit more power, maybe. This might be S. It's pretty close. If it isn't, it's pretty close. But if it is, it's on the lower end, I think. Yeah, +3, and then Akikawa, you give me fan, right? Yeah. Yeah, the power being over 600 should help. Love her little Hello Kitty outfit. Okay. And then, I mean, skills will help with rating a little bit, but we're definitely already at A for sure. The question is it A+ or S? I guess grab Heston front, just in case she somehow has the world's greatest sparks, but I don't think so. I don't think so. She can't even get medium S, so. Yeah. Oh, you know, it's lower than I thought. It's not even A+. What do you know? I assume it's because the other stats are so low, right? Stamina and guts being so low, I think does hurt her. And also like none skill points as well. My best Haru is an A+, though. It's cute. 11 races. Holy shit. She had a very anti-Haru Urara career. She didn't race at all, but it's okay, because that just means she gets to rest. 1 million Haru fans. 1,000 deaths. 1,000 burials. Nice. All right, and now give me a copy of Fine Motion. Thoughts? Thoughts on you giving me a copy of Fine Motion? Speedstar tanked her rating a bit because she was pace S. Is that how that works? Featured cards. If I pull a Nice Nature, I'm gonna be rather unhappy actually. Almost and everything else is fine. Hita-san, I guess, would be bad too. I'm calling Burr pull the nature. That's tough. Bijin is in your future. I actually wouldn't mind that. I'm not going to use her very much. Maybe nice to have the option without using my borrow slot on her. I'm going to say this is going to be the Gold City speed card. Is it a speed card? Absolute Cinema. Oh! Awesome! Pat. She's MLB now, I think. Pat. Why not? I'll never. If you think I'm ever gonna be sad to see Oguri in my polls, you got another thing coming, man. Daughter, indeed. D-O-T-T-E-R, whereas everyone else is D-A-U-G-H-T-R. Or T-E-R. I can't spell. I think she's MLB now, right? Is where that puts her? Yas.
もっと力になりそうだ。
Whenever I'm not running Oguri for some reason, I can still run Oguri. Let's level her up while we're at it. Makes sense, makes sense.
力に触れるように
Gets a power bonus and 10 TE. That's actually not bad, you know. Get lots of hugs for me. Oh, she gets. Oh, is it? Oh, she have power bonus 2 then. Must have power bonus 2. That's cool. She can give groundwork hints, you know. Total 2 power bonus. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, pat pat. Pat 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 and pat pat pat. Good times. Okay, so yeah, I think that's gonna do it though. Tomorrow we might do a super long Christmas Oguri run, like 1 run for the whole fucking stream. I think that'd be a good time. Otherwise, I am a hungry boy. I think I'm gonna go eat some food. And I think I have decided on double dom. I think I've decided on double dominator, double hesitant pace, double end closer intense gaze. Actually, the odds that one of them hits that intense gaze is gonna be a lot higher if there's 2. So probably gonna do end Tachyon, end Grass Wonder with as many speed debuffs as I can stack on them. And go from there. And then if I end up with free time, maybe I'll make more Christmas Oguri, or maybe I'll do something else. If you do my comfort testing, let me know. Sure thing, sure thing. For now, wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more horsemen.
確認した方がいいんじゃないか
Peace.
この衣装